We're just getting going here, so bear with us for just a minute.
Okay. Got to figure out the sound.
We do have our special guest buddy this week.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Excited to have him on.
Yeah, we're trying to get this worked out, so. Let me see.
Heckin' technical difficulties on a Sunday morning.
I don't know why it's playing all the way up there. Oh, that's why. All right, try it again. Whoops. Whoops. Now we're good. Going ahead and.
Okay. Sorry.
Yep. We're trying to figure out what. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Lucy's still asleep. It's early by him. No, he's awake. He's with us actually. We're getting ready.
No, he's awake and he's with us. It's on my end. I couldn't figure out why Zoom wasn't letting somebody in, and then.
We will be putting him on
decided
the screen here in just a moment. We're just trying to get our sound going here, so
Yep.
bear with us.
I'm half wide awake.
Yeah.
He's half wide awake. Coffee or energy drinks this morning, or pop? Which one? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, he's
There
got
we
some
go.
tea. He's got some peach tea
All
there.
right.
All right, we'll put
Peach
him up on the
tea.
big screen as soon as I can figure this out.
We drug him out of bed this morning, so.
Full screen.
I'm normally up at this time anyway. I'm normally filming at this time.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
So I just didn't film this morning.
Yeah. All right. Where's the?
Half wide awake. That's great.
Let's see.
James, good morning. Everybody that's with us so far. This gives us time to get people filtered in, anyways.
Whoops. I don't want that.
What's everybody's Halloween plans? Throw them in the chat here. I'm curious to see what everybody's up to today.
I have no idea what I did last time.
It's like
I
7
get to
a.m.
work.
Stop.
You have to work?
I
Bomber.
don't want to do that.
Oh, Luke, that is a great jersey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. That is amazing.
Yeah, I need to get that remade because that was just like it was like a terrible T-shirt.
That is
I think that's
fantastic.
what makes it so good, though.
Yeah.
That might even blow Space Kitties out of the water.
Yeah.
Like that's that good.
All right. Exit full
Did
screen.
someone say Space Kitties?
Yeah. What's that?
Is he
What's
got-
that meow?
Oh, he's got Space Kitties on. Yes.
Of course, Space Kitties in first place.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
So we got the Be Cool crew on here today,
Yeah. See, I gotta
That's
figure out how
right.
to.
and Team Turbo. So we're at least have all that in common.
Yeah, I have no idea how to make this full screen. I'm gonna have to move it back over.
You mean you don't want to look at yourself?
No.
Jim, I have a ball question if I may. Ask away. Why we got a second?
Screen, escape.
What's
Yeah,
the
I'm
Halloween
gonna have to
party?
figure this out.
Dressed
I
as
don't
a
know
Squid
why it
Game
won't.
contestant. Sweet. Thinking of getting a new ball, and was torn between the IQ Tour and IQ Tour Nano Pearl. It really just depends on the shapes that you're looking for. If you're looking for something a little smoother, you're going to go with the IQ Tour. The Nano Pearl is going to be a little earlier and a little poppier down lane. Wouldn't you agree?
Say what?
So somebody's asked a ball question, so I was helping them out. Well, they're asked if
Oh
they're good.
yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pay attention to anything until I
Yeah.
figure this out.
You're
so.
good, but that's going to be the difference between the two. So Jim, it just really depends on what you're looking for down lane. The IQ Tour is going to be more of a control ball, when your IQ Tour Nano Pearl is going to be a little earlier, and because I actually threw an
There
IQ
we
Tour,
go.
I threw both of them before Motive, so it's going to be a little poppier down lane. Actually, yeah, James, that's good thinking there.
There we go. Bam.
Man, now look at that.
Look at that guy.
All right.
Who is that man?
Let's see if we can do this without screwing this up. This is probably.
The
We're going
artist
to try and get this so you
formerly
can see
known
us
as-
both here.
Yeah. I don't know why you want to see Jonathan.
Great question. Oh, please tell me it's going to work. Problem is it's going to point up. No?
It'll work.
No. Can you see us both?
I don't know if it'll stay there though. Is the problem? It might.
I can see Jonathan, and I can see Luke's laptop, so I think we should be good to go.
Sweet.
Okay.
Hey guys, heard anything if new Phase 4 is coming stateside? I mean, not that I
Cool.
care, I live in Germany and can't get one ball.
Close enough.
I don't think that the Storm people know yet about the Phase 4.
Oh no, nobody tells us anything.
Yeah, so they don't know anything yet. Well, sweet. You can actually see us both.
Phase 4 should be here because anytime there's an overseas ball. It's either a special edition or it has a name on it. We haven't had any phase numbers overseas, aside from the Phase 3 SE, but it's the Phase 3 SE. So
Yeah, so it's got that SE in there. So this morning we'll start off with our beers. This morning, before we get
Yep.
going here. This morning go ahead.
yeah, we're gonna have a Oktoberfest tasting since it's the last day of October. It's also Halloween, so we're gonna have an Oktoberfest tasting. So we're just gonna do several.
Right now we're just drinking the Sam Adams one, correct?
Yep. We'll start off with Sam Adams, kind of the
Just
typical.
just get the taste buds going.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
As always, next to Norseman Brewing Company. As you can see, we still have them up here joining us front and center. We just didn't have time to go do it again this week.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We just doing heckin' busyness.
Yep.
So, once again, we are joined by Louis Napoles or whatever he wants to.
The artist formerly known as Motive
Yeah.
Lou.
Yeah, Motive Lou.
There we go. All right, can you hear us okay with that? I think that microphone's probably pretty good.
I hear you perfect.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. All right. Rock and roll.
All right, so yeah, we're just starting off with Sam Adams Oktoberfest. He's got some peach tea,
The
as
best
always.
peach
Yeah.
tea. Well, I have to go to work after, so I can't really get a
Oh,
little right before going to
yeah,
work.
yeah. That's probably.
I'll have
probably
to.
a bad-
I'll have to get a selfie with you on the screen before I leave, because that's the thing
Yeah.
with the guests. I have to take a selfie, so you'll have to. We'll get it here in a minute before you get off today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, still repping the Norseman Brewing Company. I should have gotten some more of their Oktoberfest, but we were busy yesterday and
It is good stuff. Their Oktoberfest is for
trying to
sure.
get videos out and had some
Yeah.
shop work to do and all that jazz. So,
Let's tell them a little bit about what we're going to talk about today.
yes, what we're going to talk about today is we got a question,
And dog was going.
puppies.
It's going to be an interesting one. Today, actually.
Yeah. Keith Lockhart with House Hack Bowling sent something in. He said, "What's your guys' opinion with this new science phase in bowling? Not to target a certain individual or group of people. Multiples of outlets and personalities are bringing out different forms of how science is hurting this aspect of bowling, or how we can improve this side of the game, or how it's helping, or whatever else. Do we get to a point where all this knowledge is hurting the game?" So yeah, we had
That's a
several
great
of
question.
us have had kind of discussions on Facebook over the last, I don't know, month or two about data and science and puppy dogs. I know, Mistle. What? I know, Mistle. Go play.
I was scared for a second.
You want to go outside, Mistle?
I mean, I guess we did decide to wear white on Halloween.
Oh, they got treats.
Uh-oh.
That's what the deal is. So we've had discussions, debates, whatever else about
Sorry, train of thought there.
yeah, I
Nice.
can't even think of what I'm trying to say. The science, the tech, ball ranking systems or whatever, something like that. I don't know
Which is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah. And so I started my rating system again, just trying to basically help people out, because some people don't understand. I hear this a lot, is people don't understand the cover stock formulas, and they just think, okay, is it a pearl, is it a solid, or is it a hybrid? Well, the formula or the material that the cover stock is actually made out of matters a whole bunch. It's not like you're making tires or something where it's
Yeah.
all rubber, it's just got different tread on it. That's
Right,
not how
right.
this works. There's different different chemicals make up the cover stocks of the bowling balls, and some chemicals react one way, other chemicals react another way. That's why you can have pearl balls that are like, again, IQ Emerald versus the Tour Nano Pearl.
Right.
And now that Luis has gotten a chance to throw a bunch of this stuff, Storm does this, I think, a whole lot more often than other companies do, or other companies continue to come out with different names for the cover stocks. And you kind of, with Brunswick, I have no idea what's going on because everything's kind of different. They might use one cover stock one time, but there's no predictable way, or there's no science or no formula behind, or it doesn't seem like any rhyme or reason to how they're naming their covers. Now, Storm, the weakest cover is Reactor. Then their next strong, to kind of keep it in that general R series, you have Reactor, and then R2S is stronger than that, R3S is stronger than that, R4S is stronger than that, and then some of them you have NRG, and then you have some of these others, and so even some of the Storm stuff gets lost a little bit without having a ranking chart. Saying NEX solid versus NRG solid versus GI18 solid versus, it's kind of like, okay, well, what does any of that crap mean? But people don't generally understand the differences between that. They want to know what the core is it a pearl solid, a hybrid, and then that's all they think they want to know. And so,
Right.
because there's differences, like, Luis, you've thrown the Emerald and the IQ Tour Nano Pearl.
And the tour, yeah.
Yeah, they're both pearls,
Yeah,
different cover stock formulas.
Yeah, complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So they just don't. You
Storm
can
Dog
tell
put
that they're
his
both
input in.
IQs, but pearl versus pearl. I mean,
Yeah.
it,
Well, I had someone just yesterday tell me that they were looking for a asymmetrical hybrid, and they were like, which one should I get, the RSTX1 or the UFO Alert?
yeah,
Like, well,
Yeah.
those are as different. I mean, the only thing they have in common is that they're hybrids.
yeah. That's
I was gonna say that's quite different, actually.
yeah.
Those
'Cause
two balls are not. I mean, yeah, they're hybrids, but they're not even close, right?
No, not really.
I
I mean,
didn't think so.
they're somewhat similar from a. And this is the thing, is that from core numbers,
Yeah.
they're somewhat similar.
Right.
But the cover stock formulas are so different that I throw the UFO Alert quite a bit. I can't even think about taking the X1 to League because it's just too strong.
Right.
It's just too
But that
strong.
goes back to the whole cover designator. They just hear hybrid, and it's the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's both of you said it's spot on. I mean, everybody looks for when they're going to buy a bowling ball or they're interested in a bowling ball because I don't think they dive into it more. Is it a solid? Is it a pearl? Is it a hybrid?
Yeah.
And then there's some people don't even pay attention to what the core is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And some of it's ignorance, which
Yep.
being ignorant is not a bad word. People have kind of
Yeah, I
changed it.
agree.
Oh, you're ignorant. That well, ignorant just means that you don't know something. It doesn't mean stupid. And I think people use ignorant when they mean stupid.
Right.
Willful ignorance is a different story.
Right.
But just plain ignorance is like, if they don't know something, then that's it. That's just a simple thing. Ignorance is not a bad word. And some people, it's confusing, and so they try to boil it down. It's like, okay, well, let's just make it pearl solid hybrid, and then symmetric or asymmetric. But even then, within symmetric cores, obviously you have like Axiom versus High Road Max. The Axiom's got a whole lot. They're both symmetric. They both have the same cover. Comes out of the box, the same surface, but they're different because they have pretty different cores in them.
Yeah. Yep.
You got the high road core versus the Axiom core, basically.
Core makes a big difference.
So, I think everybody in the bowling world will try to make it simpler, or they're trying to help out. Nobody gets into bowling because they want to get rich.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. So number one, for starters, everybody cares. Everybody's trying. They're trying to help out. But you can't. There's so many variables in bowling. We talked about it a lot, but there's so many variables in bowling that you just can't nail anything down, because as soon as you try to nail something down, it doesn't work. And then you have to start calling certain things outliers. And then as soon as you start calling results or data or whatever else outliers, then you've lost all the data.
Yep.
Because you can't just say, oh, well, this was weird, so this doesn't count.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm thinking of a bowling ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bowling balls with no holes in them, because we all throw
Yeah,
bowling balls with no holes.
I've always wanted to. when I
Yeah.
get one without putting
Yeah,
holes
yeah,
in it. Just go two-handed and roll it down the lane. I've always wanted to, but
I've drilled one with one finger before. The guy just used his middle finger.
Why?
And so that's all he needed. He just wanted his middle finger in it, so I drilled it with one hole and gave it back to him.
I was gonna
I only
say.
charged him like $10. So he's like, "Are you gonna charge me $50 to drill?" It's like, no, I will charge you $10.
Is he any good?
Oh, I don't remember. It's been such a
Okay,
long
I'm just
time
curious.
ago
I
that-
mean,
yeah,
really, one.
I mean, as good as you can be with one finger.
It's true.
yeah,
He's the best one-fingered player out there.
yeah. So let me put it to Luis for a little while here, because you've been cranking out reviews pretty fast and furious.
For sure.
Like a madman.
Yeah. So I mean, you're trying a bunch of different stuff. Are you still throwing any motive stuff? I know that
haven't-
I'm sure that you still got motive stuff. I don't think that you reviewed any new motive stuff, have you?
No, I have a Pride and I have a purple tank.
Mhm.
That's it. I don't own anything else motive besides those two.
Okay.
And it wasn't, I don't have a beef with motive. It was just time to move on, and I wanted to try other things. And I had a lot of motive balls at home, so I got rid of a lot of it, and then I drilled the Pride, and I liked that ball a whole lot. And then the purple tank, I'm stashing some urethane balls for a future video that I have planned.
Okay.
So I want to stash as many urethane balls as I can. And yeah, those are the only two that I have motive wise.
Okay, but you've thrown motive for a couple of years, so you're really familiar with the motive.
Yeah.
You're really familiar
Top to
with the
bottom.
motive reaction.
How long were you on staff?
I'd say total like 3.5 years.
3.5
And
years.
it seems like it's a lot longer than that,
Right.
but like 3.5 years.
I couldn't remember exactly how long. I don't think I had ever asked you before, but I was just curious.
So
Yeah.
but now you're throwing a bunch of different stuff. You've thrown a lot of Storm. You've thrown everything under the Storm umbrella, virtually everything under the Brunswick umbrella. You've even thrown some big bowling, which I don't think that hardly anybody else.
Not a ton
You
of
know.
stuff anymore now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they haven't pumped
I,
anything new out since
So
they
with
came
the
out.
big bowling, Marshall and Big Bowling gave me a Idea Solid and a Shimwrecker.
mhm.
And when I tell you that I have never stopped filming in the middle of a review like I did with that Idea Solid. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That bad, huh?
Oh man, it was. I don't know if it was that bad. I couldn't get. I mean, I'm 20 shots into this video and I struck once on a ball that I tugged 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Trevor actually really likes that Shimwrecker.
Yeah, the Shimwrecker.
Shimwrecker's good.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no. The Shimwrecker is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've heard. Is that Shimwrecker? The Shimwrecker is actually really good. So
What was the Angel? Do you remember what the ball was where I was filming and just filming forever? And it's like, I don't know if I can do this review. Was it the Burner Solid? Where I was just sitting there thinking, it's like, God, I can't even. There's nothing I can make out of this.
I did that once, and I was frustrated.
Oh,
when I
the
got
Zen
done.
Master.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows about the Zen Master.
Oh,
That's
yeah. You don't like that one.
like, yeah, we went to the other pair and it got better, and that's the footage I ended up using.
Yeah,
Um,
because mine came back with a little nick in it. We were like, crap,
Huge.
if it gets
Oh my
worse.
gosh, they're dirty.
Yeah.
So we moved pairs, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna practice.
Yeah.
Has Big Bowling released anything new lately? No, they have not. I don't believe. Have they? Big hasn't released anything new recently.
no, they haven't
right?
released anything else. I think they've got some stuff ready to go, and then COVID really hurt them because they were getting ready to go. They signed up for the PBA, and they were getting ready to. They were getting ready to go, and then COVID hit, and it kind of stopped everything, and so they never got rolling. And I think they've got some stuff ready to go. They're trying to kind of regroup, and I think there's enough money there to where
These are terrible.
they're, if they want to keep going, they're gonna be able to keep going.
There was one before that Halo Solid.
No, I really like the Halo though.
Or Vision.
Oh, the Halo Vision, yeah, that was
Goodness.
terrible.
You weren't, it wasn't
Nick
as
Brown.
extreme as the Zen Master, but you did like.
Well, no, we had to go back because they didn't want the lanes for us. Yeah, it was
So,
it was super dry, and we went into film. Oh, we didn't have anybody to run the lanes, and they haven't been running 2 days, so it's like, okay, that's
Oh, great.
The Vision,
So-
that was the Sanded Pearl.
It was a hybrid, but yeah, it was a sanded whatever, but it was the sanded hybrid version of the nuke cell cover, and so it was just orders of magnitude of ridiculous, hooking off the planet on a
Yeah.
pair that they hadn't oiled, and so it hooked at like 20 feet, 32 feet, 37 feet, and then tried to whatever else. So I had to go
Just
film
do
at the
this
other
the whole
house.
way.
Yeah, I had to go film at the other house and then come back and try to get something somewhat fresh. And it was still, we had to film after league because they just weren't going to
And
run
I
the
think
lanes for
that
us. So.
I think that it's just still on my mind. I'm pretty sure that Big actually has new stuff already. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lou. Marshall, I think on one of the shows, like a strike derby or something like that, was actually throwing something new. He's
Yeah,
probably got the
yeah.
new stuff.
Mhm.
It just hasn't been released to the public yet, and hard
Yeah.
telling when they're actually going to do it. So
They have 2 balls. There's like a new idea. I think there's one called the Big Idea, which is the orange one that he's been throwing.
Okay.
And I think there's one that's like another shim or something like that. That's supposed to be like.
isn't it like goldish, like a goldish color?
I think so.
Yeah, I saw it on
Uh,
TV, and I couldn't. It's like that's not a older big ball. That's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I did look through this list here because I don't know if you can see this, but I have that looks terrible. But I put together a list of everything I've drilled since I've become a free agent. I've gone through 31 balls
Oh, okay.
Sir,
in like-
you have an
in like-
addiction.
in like 2 and a
Yeah.
half months. Yeah.
And how many do
So-
you still have?
Yeah, how many of those do you still have?
No, every single one. Everything I've drilled since becoming a free agent, I have not got rid of.
Nice. That's pretty solid.
I'd
I
say
mean,
you're
there's
happy
a
with
lot
them.
of them that I'll never throw again.
Yeah. Unless another ball comes. I learned my lesson with this because my, and I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for this. It's not the same. It doesn't matter. The ball's terrible. So as soon as the review was over, I gave my Zen Master weight right away. It's like this ball is, and it's not, this is the thing, it's part of it is that I really hate the ball. But the other part of it is that it's not better than a Phase 2. It's not better than an Axiom. It's not better than an Idol. It's not better than a Reality. It's not, so there's no possible way for me to ever use it, ever fit it in anywhere at all. And so there's no reason for it. So I give it away, and then 2 or 3 weeks later they announce the Helios, and I'm like, okay, so you've been in the ball review game long enough.
Yeah.
You know that, how does it compare, the Helios, how does it compare to the Zen Master? So I'm
So
like,
now you have to drill another Zen Master.
so, well, yeah, I plugged and re-drilled. I plugged and
That's
I'm going
good.
to re-drill Angels because she tried it out. She actually gave it longer than I did because it was kind of okay for her, and we got this house here in town that's nutso weird. Super, the fastest back ends that you've ever seen in your life. I've bowled a few hundred different bowling alleys probably, but that's probably an exaggeration. Probably, I don't know, 50, 60 anyway, because
Yeah.
all the places we travel around to. These are the fastest back ends ever. Just ever, bar none, period.
The one
Gauge.
here in town?
Yeah, Gauge.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Gauge, the
Oh.
one that I used to film at that made everything turn sideways, which is part of the reason I had to stop filming there. They took good care of Mikey. Always had me fresh lanes of whatever I wanted, but everything turned sideways there.
I was able to pop off bills there this week, so I can't talk bad about it for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Big jam
More
alert.
backhands.
Wah,
Hey.
More
wah.
backhands at Sam's Town here in Las Vegas. When we shot that video, those backhands are crispy.
oh yeah, dude, Gage
Yeah.
Bowl in Topeka, it boinks, man.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you. We'll get you in town here one of these days. We'll get you out here for a tournament or whatever, and then you can bowl it. You can bowl at Gauge. We're gonna have to take you there just for the experience because, I mean, yeah, like James says, if a promotion looks skid flippy, you know it's crazy center. But
That's interesting. Sorry.
yeah, so that's part of the reason we stopped filming there. And she tried to use the Zen Match because it's so smooth. She tried to use it there to control the back ends, and it either hit flat or it didn't. It worked out sometimes. She could only use it for about 8 frames, and it just wasn't a good look. And so I'm
James.
plugging and re-drilling hers for the Helios review.
James says if a promotion looks skid flip, as in that building, you know it's a crazy center.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Good stuff. Yeah,
So anyway.
the place is nuts.
Yeah, back to Lou. So you've thrown enough bowling balls from enough different companies now that you have gotten the feel for, bowling balls are all fairly different, but
Yeah.
storm balls kind of, even the smooth storm balls feel one way compared to like smooth Brunswick balls, and there's even some variation
yeah.
within the Brunswick brands. So you can tell when you're throwing an SPI ball, you're throwing a B7, which is that's what we call Brunswick, is B7 to 7 companies. It's just kind of short for them.
Big 7.
Versus a motive ball versus even big bowling balls, which visually look to me like kind of halfway between. The big stuff looks like halfway between a motive ball and a storm ball, because it's got kind of that round,
Yeah, I agree with
rolly
that.
motive shape to it, but
Yep.
it's got the friction response is more storm, but the ball motion kind of looks motive to me.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
I will say though that, I mean, not to harp on Big too much, but if Big can figure out some of their covers,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're pretty close, because that shimmer is pretty phenomenally good. I mean, it does lane shine quite a bit faster than I would like.
Uh-huh.
So if they can figure that out, man, I mean, because I think the guy behind Big is Victor something or another.
Yeah, Victor Marion. He was the guy. He was the brainchild behind a lot of the big storm stuff that came out in the
back in the
2010s,
day.
whatever. Yeah, the virtual gravity nano. He's the one that I think NRG was kind of his thing, and then the original phase, which is kind of funny. I'm writing a. Nobody liked the original phase. That was kind of Klompkin's baby, I think. But Victor Marion was big behind the AX cover. But the phase is basically the Zen. I'm going to make a video because I kind of made a reference about this. In
The
one of
original
my-
phase?
Yeah, the original phase is basically a Zen, and everybody hated the phase when it came out, but now everybody loves the Zen.
That's
It was
funny you
that
say
early,
that. 'Cause
rolly,
I was literally
chuggy,
looking right at that
strong
phase right as you said
pearl
that.
ball. And the phase when it came out was
Yeah.
early, rolly,
Yeah.
strong, and chuggy. It was a Zen, and everybody hated it because it's a pearl. It's not skidding and flipping.
My
So-
eyes were right on that phase right as you said that, so it's
Yeah.
kind of funny and ironic. Sorry, carry on.
Well, that
I'm just
that
saying.
happens a lot with bowling balls, where when they first come out, people don't love them, and all of a sudden now they're a staple in everyone's bag. I mean, look at the Phase 2. When the Phase 2 first came out, it wasn't very popular.
No.
Now you can't even dream of seeing a staffer's bag without one. Same thing
Yeah.
with Motive. When the recoil first came out, a lot of people didn't love it right away, and now everyone has one in their bag.
Are
Yeah,
you talking about the recoil?
yeah.
The recoil, yeah.
The ball's so underrated, man.
It's the most underrated ball that Motive has.
Agreed, 100%. You mean it's not the Venom Shock?
Had.
Yeah, it's gone now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we can
What do you
say
think it was before?
what underrated ball on the motive side.
Or maybe just list period, some underrated balls
Okay.
period that you can think of.
That's a good question.
No,
Well, let's start
yeah,
with
we-
Lou on that.
Well, yeah, and so that I do want to. I keep interrupting here, but I want to have Lou talk about the differences between a lot of the balls from the
Yeah.
companies, and
It's a good question.
Brunswick puts out way too many balls way too fast, and some pretty good stuff comes and goes before people even know
Yeah,
that
that's
it
a
was
fact.
around. Before we get to that, we're trying the Oktoberfest from Flying Dog. So we had Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Flying Dog's a pretty good brewery, so that's what we're drinking right now. I'll just leave that there.
I mean, yeah. I lost train of thought there. You were talking about
Yeah, the
stuff on-
Brunswick. Well, there's some good Brunswick stuff,
Do
but
you-
they put stuff out so fast that it comes and goes before people
Yeah.
even know
Yeah.
about it.
Lou, do you have a 2.0, a Black Widow 2.0?
I do have a Black Widow 2.0.
That ball looks pretty good.
I like that ball quite a bit. I mean, it's one of those situations where it's pretty good. It's not amazing. So because
Yeah.
I've gone through so many bowling balls, if it's not amazing, it's gonna fall out of the bag.
Well, yeah.
But to
yeah.
to what Luke said, they put out so many balls that by the time I get a chance to get them and review them, it's already old because the next batch has already been announced.
Right.
And then when that batch is announced, the next one's already announced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I drilled the Ebonite Polaris, and that ball was actually really, really good.
Oh, that ball's really
But
pretty,
then-
by the way.
Yeah, it's like that orange and bluish.
Yeah, it
color.
looks really good. Yeah.
And it rolls phenomenally. But as soon as I reviewed it, I reviewed it before the release date, and by the time the ball came out, the next batch of balls, which was like the Medusa and stuff like that,
Yeah.
had already been announced.
Right.
And then a week later, the Black Widow Ghost had been announced. So, by the time the release day came around, there was already 8-9 balls that were set to be released within the next couple weeks.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, when you have 7 brands to keep up with, I mean, it makes sense. I
Yeah.
understand it. But I just don't
I
know
mean,
why you would kick out stuff that is just that good, that quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just, you
Yeah,
agree with
I
me,
mean,
Luke?
I think the issue that I've been having with some of the brands of Brunswick balls is that some of them are really, really good in the front part of the lane,
Yep.
and then just do nothing down lane. And then they have other ones like the let me look at my list here.
So are you seeing shape differences from the from the 7 brands?
Yeah, like well, I drilled one Brunswick ball,
Okay.
like actual Brunswick ball, and it was the Melee Jab Midnight Blue.
That'd be a good
And
one.
to me,
Yeah.
that is very, very similar to a Zen, except it's a little cleaner through the front. And I think what makes the Zen so special is that it's that combination of early and down lane.
Right.
Like it kind of wants to pick up, but it goes.
Yep.
But like the Midnight Blue, I'm looking here. The Midnight Blue is the only ball that I've drilled from the brands of Brunswick balls that actually creates like a considerable amount of shape. Because I'm looking here, like the Wet Pearl was very, very smooth. The Obsession Tour Pearl was very, very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And that just seems to be, and I think that's why I'm leaning more away from the brands of Brunswick, because I love the hammer line. I've matched up with every single hammer ball I've drilled except for the Infamous. But if I'm looking for something that creates a lot of shape down lane, I really got nothing, And maybe that Black Widow Ghost, because it's like a pearl or whatever, that one might create a little bit more shape, because the Black Widow 2.0 really got down lane, really wanted to create shape, but it was still a solid, so it was still going to be on the smoother side.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. Our buddy Trevor just recently drilled one up too, so he's pretty excited to throw it. 2.0. That's what he drilled, right? Was it 2.0?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's pretty excited for that. The other one that interests me on the that I just want to see videos. Of course, I can't throw it, but Radical, the Trailblazer, is that the new one?
Yeah.
There's some
the
scores coming out of that
Trailblazer,
thing,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I haven't. The only Radical ball I've drilled so far was the Informer.
Yep.
And that was just entirely way too strong.
The Informer.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It's the navy blue one.
Mm-hmm.
That ball, I mean, that thing read at the arrows and just.
The only Radical ball I've ever thrown was a Conspiracy Theory, and that was like right before I signed with Motive. And I will say that ball is pretty good. They made a few that from what I've heard is they've made some clunkers, but that one they hit on. Like Trevor had, I mean, that guy. How many underscores did he shoot with a Conspiracy Theory?
I don't know, it was a bunch, but I like the shape. Now, the Radical line is the same thing over and over again. They have like 2 shapes. Most of it's that really archy, continuous kind of phase 2 looking shape, which is it's a great shape. It just, everything looks the same.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that. Just
they-
watching videos from my eyeball, that's
Yeah, I know. It's just everything's that archy, really continuous looking motion, and it's a great motion. But everything kind of does the same thing.
yeah. So, what out of all the stuff you've thrown so far, like just since you left Motive, what would you be your favorite? You'd say, line or ball or what?
My one favorite ball?
Let me guess, Zen.
No. I don't know if I could say like my one favorite ball, but like.
Give us a couple.
Yeah, do a handful of them.
Yeah, give us a couple. Who cares?
So like,
Having some fun
all
here.
right. So I'm looking at my list here. Like for Storm, I would say probably the Trend 2.
Mm-hmm.
That ball has been phenomenal for me. On the Rotogrip side, I really, really like the RSTX2. That ball is pretty good.
Okay.
For the global line, the Reality's been probably my favorite asymmetrical solid since the Sherlock.
And that's the one you really like, right?
Well, yeah, it kind of is a Sherlock, so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just can't throw it anywhere. I mean,
no, I
just
can't
looking for
either. I
Does it-
tried to throw it in league the other night, and I think it's going to work out if I don't throw it like an idiot. So.
Does it hook a lot in Vegas in general?
I think you need to put some polish back on it.
It depends where you bowl. Like if you're bowling at Samstown, like if I want my bowling ball to really shape and look good in a video, I go to Samstown because they boom so much.
What's the surface of Samstown? Is that the old? What lane surface is that at Samstown?
Anvilane or no, is it AMF?
Is
I
it
think
the,
they're AM. I'm not really sure. It's
HPLs?
the
Are
one
they
that doesn't have
HPLs
the
there?
tracers
Yeah.
downwind.
Is Samstown where we bowled at?
Correct.
When
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I think those are HPLs.
so yeah, that's gonna naturally it's gonna
So
point there
there's,
anyway.
well, there's a bunch of hook, but normally HPLs aren't like super shapy
Yeah,
unless
no.
they're newer ones, or unless they're definitely not SPLs, because you can tell Storm HQ has the SPLs, which are a lot brighter lane surface. The HPLs are probably about the darkest.
HPLs is like Summit has. They're just
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like a
Well,
20-year-old
they're
HPL
just
surface, and
yeah,
it
they're just a
boinks.
bunch of
Yeah.
friction.
Holy
But
boink
yeah,
that, man.
the Samstown that they do
Yeah.
boink pretty good.
Sorry, carry on
That's why I
with
kept
the
throwing
balls.
the ball out the window.
I tried to throw the Reality in League a couple weeks ago, and it's just it hooks way too much. It was
Yeah.
flat 10, flat 10, flat 10. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I got to get out of this ball. My favorite hammer ball so far has been the Obsession Tour Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
That ball
Oh,
is
yeah.
pretty good.
The pearl, you
It's-
said?
Yeah,
The
gold
pearl,
one.
the gold one.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a
Strong
lot of
dog.
like a Zen,
Yeah.
where it wants to dig in a little bit and create a little bit of shape. So those, that's probably been it right there. Like the Obsession Tour Pearl, Trend 2. Trend 2 is probably my favorite ball.
Is that ball out yet?
That I've
It's
drilled.
out, right?
Yeah, it's out as of Friday.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Okay. The Trend 2 looks like it hooks a lot. Like it looks pretty strong.
It back ends a lot.
I say I shouldn't use the word hooks a lot.
Well, yeah,
I-
but
people
that's
get
the other
confused with
thing.
that.
I mean, that's what we can. That's kind of part of what we're working at talking about.
Yeah.
But it does hook a lot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does create traction on the lanes. Way more than the
Yeah.
original Trend,
Oh,
way
yeah.
more than the Zen.
Yeah.
It's like that video you put out yesterday, Luke, like comparing the Trend 2 to like nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really unlike anything I've ever thrown, because those core numbers and that ball reaction, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of perfect for what we're talking about, because that's the thing is I started trying to compare it to, and that's the thing is people ask for weird comparisons. I think what they mean is, well, how does it compare to this? And I'm like, well, those aren't close, so I can't compare them at all. I think they're wanting to know, hey, I think what they're trying to say is, hey, I have this ball. I want to know if this new ball is going to overlap it. So when people say, well, how does this ball compare to this ball? They want to know if they'll fit together, not like, okay, I think that when somebody says, hey, how does this ball compare to this ball? It means to me that they think that they're similar. They're trying to decide between the two. And so
That's what it sounds like to me, yeah.
that's what it throws me for a loop. I'm like, how? These balls aren't even. Somebody asked me to compare the Trend 2 to the Phase 2, and I'm like, they're so far apart.
Well, they both have a 2 in the name, so
Yeah,
they have to be similar.
Yeah, that's the only way that they're similar, because the Phase 2's got a lot stronger core. The
That's
cover
why he's
stock-
on with us today.
The cover stock is similar, but the Trend 2 goes down and creates a lot of shape. But that's why it's so weird, because it's not even like the All-Road has the same cover as the Trend 2, but it's also got a higher RG and a little bit more differential, and so that still creates even a different ball motion, because it's kind of a weak-ish core, but it's a very strong cover. But that very strong cover is polished, and it's more of an overseas type of look. We don't see stuff like the Trend 2, and so I kept trying to. It's like, okay, well, people are going to want to know how it compares to the other, because the signature line ball, which has traditionally been kind of like master line, which is just big symmetric stuff. So I'm like, okay, Phase 3, well, it doesn't compare to the Phase 3 because that's got a lot stronger core in it. The cover is similar-ish, but the R Series covers are a lot more shaped than the NRG, NEX, whatever else. So it doesn't really compare to that. It doesn't compare to the Trend hardly at all, because it's stronger core and quite a bit weaker cover. The only thing I could come up with, again, was the Honey Badger Intensity and Revival, and even then, those cores are asymmetric, and the covers are weaker, and so it just doesn't, every single time, I would start out,
And the Intensity was a solid cover, right?
I would open a file, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Trend
it was.
2,
That's right.
Trend 2 versus this, and then Trend 2 versus this. It's like, well, it doesn't compare, and if it doesn't compare, there's no reason to make a comparison video for something that obviously doesn't compare, because that's the whole point of making comparison videos. Like, okay, well, these look similar on paper,
Yeah.
they look similar on the lane, and so we need to help people figure out what the differences actually are, because they seem like they're similar. The Trend 2 is not similar to anything. And
Yeah.
so I started script after script, or review after review after whatever else, and nothing works. So I'm like, whatever. I spent like a week trying to figure this out, and so I'm just gonna whatever.
Well, I shot a comparison video, shameless plug, that drops today.
There you go.
The Trend versus the Trend 2, and I threw them side by side, and
Yeah.
the similarities. It was weird because I was striking from the same spot with both balls,
Uh
right? I mean, we were on a house shot, so
huh.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the difference is, like, the motion. It was insane just how different they were.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what
I mean,
was different about ball motion on them?
Say it again.
I mean, virtually. He was
In,
asked.
in
Yeah.
your opinion, what are you seeing between the two difference wise?
So, I mean, the Trend was at least 2 or 3 feet longer
Uh huh.
Really?
than the Trend. I mean, it was insane how much cleaner through the fronts the Trend was.
Trend 2 is not a hybrid, is it?
I think
Well,
I said it.
yeah, the Trend
when
2 is
I
a hybrid.
reviewed-
That makes sense.
Yeah, when I reviewed the Trend 2, I think I said that the name of that ball should have been like the Tour Trend or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they changed the core numbers and made it into like that Tour core
Yeah.
numbers.
Uh-huh.
It should have just been called the Trend Tour, or just a completely different name, because
Yeah.
they're not the same ball at all.
No, they're not.
They're throwing the crap out of them on tour, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. They're not close, because, and that's the weird thing, is that the piston core from the Trend is a whole lot stronger of a core than the piston LD from the Trend 2. So the numbers
Yeah.
went. So the piston core in the Trend was 252. I got it right there.
It went to 254.
048, and it went to 254.041, and that doesn't sound, RG numbers, you can go one tick one way or the other, and it makes a whole lot of difference. It takes, I think, before you can tell the difference in differential, it's got to go like 5 points, but RG numbers, just 1/100th in RG, you notice that quite a bit from core to core to core. But the stronger Trend core is in the R2S Pearl, which is a whole lot weaker than people actually realize that it is. It's so
Yeah.
far down, like on Storm's depth chart or whatever, it's in the bottom third of their cover stock strengths, and there's, 2/3 of basically most of what they make now is stronger than that.
Now, have you or Angel knocked the shine off the Trend 2 cover?
Yeah, Angel did, and it looks a whole lot better. It's the factory gloss that these companies are putting out now is too much. It's way too much, and I like factory shine. I'm one of those that, well, did you break the shine on? It's like, absolutely not. I love shine, but now it's even getting too glossy for me, and so I think I'm going to start using React-A-Scuff or something to knock the shine off, and I'm going to do a Trend 2 surface video whenever I get a chance to. But yeah, she did knock the shine off of it, and it's still got that boink to it. It just blends it out. It makes it better. It just knocks that edge off of it.
You can get
Yeah,
shine right
because-
on out of here. I don't like shine either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially with the motive balls.
Yeah.
Like, when I was on staff, I would review a polished ball, and then as soon as that review was done, I take the shine right off.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do usually leave the shine on for the videos, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I did not with the Iron Forge. It, as soon as it was holes were in it, I hit it with 3,000, I think, by hand just to start. I think it was 3,000, but it looks pretty good. So
Yeah, that iron. Yeah.
So the brand ambassador in my area,
Ricky
the
Overton,
new
right?
brand ambassador, huh?
Ricky,
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky actually, I brought him in on staff when I was brand ambassador to help me out with demos.
Right.
And then he ended up being brand ambassador, so it's pretty cool.
yep.
He was asking me about the Iron Forge, and I think I'm going to get one eventually. But what I worry about that ball is that a lot of people are asking me how it compares to the Zen, because it's similar-ish core numbers.
Nothing.
It's a pearl,
It's not
and then
close.
Nothing.
it's an unfair comparison. I mean, comparing anything to a Zen
Yeah.
is
So
very unfair.
Luke will tell you exactly what he thinks the ball is. I
It's
mean,
a, did you ever have a tribal, the silver tribal?
Yes,
It's a tribal.
and actually,
Exactly a tribal.
Let me see if I can find.
We pulled up videos because we were watching Justin. I told him last night when we were doing some stuff. I'm like, pull up Justin Wyman's tribal video and tell me that the Iron Forge is not a tribal. And you can watch videos. Whoever's got an Iron Forge video up, watch that. Then watch Justin Wyman's tribal video from like 4 or 5 years ago, or 5, 6 years ago. Whatever. It's the same ball, but that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm jealous because it's that.
The Iron Forge is really good. It looks good for me. I like it
Yeah.
a lot. It's
The Iron Forge looks better now than the original. Remember that picture that I showed you?
oh yes,
Jonathan?
yes I do.
So like, I don't know if you can how it looks here.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks terrible.
Where it looked
But
like
has,
rainbowish.
Yeah, that very, very super shiny bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really see it here, but like it has like a lot of blue in it, so it was like red,
Yeah.
blue, and silver. The
Yeah.
original
Uh-huh.
batch of those were pretty
Yeah.
ugly,
Uh-huh.
but it actually looks pretty good now.
You know what? I'm weird. I thought the one that you showed me that one time, I was like, dude, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I love about the Iron Forge though is the silver. I love silver in a bowling ball. It just pops. So, but the ball is really good though.
This
You
is
just,
the Coop
you
co-op Oktoberfest.
the guys that you've got to let it see the lane. That's for sure though. So, it's
No,
it's
I'm definitely going to. I mean, like I said, I don't all of a sudden hate Motive.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I'm a free agent, I'm definitely going to try to get the Motive stuff. I mean, the vast majority of I'll use a quote unquote, my fan base is are Motive people. So anytime I put out a Motive video, I mean,
I'm a fan.
huh?
I said I'm a fan.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, most of my stuff was Motive before, so I definitely still want to put out some Motive content while I can.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I mean, you're at the point where you're at now. You're just gonna have to put videos of everything out there. So,
Yeah,
I mean, people want to see it. So you're the man of the people. You got to take care of
that's right.
them.
It's a whole lot. People don't understand how much work goes into a 10-minute video on YouTube.
It's a lot of work.
Well,
Even a
see,
2-minute video is a lot of
the
work.
way that I would equate it to people is that for every
Oh,
minute
that's
of
good.
video,
Wow.
it's about an hour.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it's a 10-minute video, it took 10 hours to get it done.
That's yeah.
So, and even then, sometimes I do dumb stuff with the intros and stuff.
You're also a perfectionist.
But yeah, that doesn't help. But and then this frickin' Helios is gonna wreck me. I'm already miserable now. I'm gonna be super miserable for another couple weeks.
When's it come out? Or when do you get the Helios?
They ship next Monday or Tuesday, so I'll be knee deep in videos next weekend or next 2
Yeah,
weekends because I've got
I'm very excited to get a Helios.
the Helios.
because-
I'm really excited about that one.
What about the UC3? What are your thoughts? Like,
I don't
what's-
care.
No.
I mean, sorry, but we're not good at making urethane. Now the fast pitch is good. And I think you were telling me the other day you really like the fast pitch.
I really like the fact when it can see the friction, the fast pitch is really good.
Yeah, you do need friction, or you need to keep you need to keep surface on it. But
It does lane shine pretty fast.
it lane
though.
shines really quick because I think it's a little bit more pitch purple than anybody thinks or realizes. So there's enough reactive resin in the fast pitch still that it shines really quick. So you got to keep surface on it. But I like to just let it shine and run it with a pitch black. If you're on like a short pattern and something you have the friction to work with, the fast pitch with lane shine on it is amazing because it hooks the least out of probably any ball I've ever thrown. Urethane, whatever else, it's almost like a plastic ball with a stronger core in it. When you get shine on it, that's almost what it reminds me of.
Well, I mean, going back to like cover designators,
Uh-huh.
everyone, like they just say urethane. I mean, urethane balls are all built different because I have 4 urethane balls drilled right now. I have a purple
yeah.
tank, a purple hammer, a pitch black, and a fast pitch.
Not even close between any of those.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, no.
None of them are even. I mean, I would say the 2 that are the closest would be like a purple tank and a pitch black.
Pitch black, yeah.
Yeah.
Would probably be the closest, and then even then, the purple tank is far and away stronger than any of them.
Yeah, it's strong. It's stronger and it's got more shape to it. The pitch black digs in pretty early, but then it's really slow down lane.
Yeah, I just drilled a pitch black and I went like 3 3/8 by 15, and holy, you know what? That
Yeah.
thing is early.
Yeah, it's super, super early, and then it just rolls.
The black.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm bowling on 44 feet next week, and I want to bring a urethane ball.
Mhm.
So, or I'm going to bring at least one because it's a regional, so you have to have urethane.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I want to drill one freaky strong.
Yeah, you're
So,
bowling the doubles with Michael Martell, right?
Michael Martell. I don't know why he wanted to bowl with me.
Is it a member, non-member?
Member, non-member, yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
I mean, he could have found a million other non-members that would have walked to a title.
Yeah.
He's throwing it really, really good right now too. So
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? So am I. I was actually having this conversation with a couple of people that I wish the regional was just today.
yeah,
I mean, I'm probably as sharp as I've ever been.
good to hear. Is that a 2-day regional or a 1-day?
2-day.
Because some of them they're doing some 1-days now, and I think that's just completely silly. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually here in Vegas they'll have a non-champs regional on Friday, and that's the whole day Friday. Qualifying and match play and all that stuff on the same day.
for the non-champs,
For the non-champs.
The
And then the
non-champs are
member,
fun.
non-member doubles is Saturday, finals on Sunday.
good. That's how they should be. It should be a weekend thing. So
Actually, Jonathan, the jersey that I only have one high five jersey, and I gotta wear my old.
Mm-hmm.
This is the team jersey from a couple years ago. This is the only.
yeah, I like
my
that
five
team jersey
jersey.
too. By the way,
Huh?
I said I like that team jersey a lot too. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm
they
sorry.
never
I
sent
love
me-
the Sailor one the best. It's my favorite because I have that one and I have this year's.
Yeah, they
so-
never sent me this year's for
Oh.
whatever reason. Well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, do you have the Sailor one? The one that looks kind of like a sailor? The navy
Yeah.
or the
I
blue
don't
with
know what it
the
is, though.
I love that jersey. I'm sorry, I do.
Or maybe I didn't get that one. I think I haven't bowled a regional in a couple of years, so I don't think I was ordering the team jerseys.
Hey, they can send them to me anytime they want because I'll have that means I'm PBA ready if I'm ever going to do anything. So
yeah,
I'm trying to sweet talk this one into doing one down the road. So
God, it's
You
gonna
guys
be
should.
it's gonna be another couple of years. 'Cause I'm in the sophomore slump right now where it's just last year I was just good enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to hit the pocket. I'm just trying to hit the pocket, so we're just gonna keep it slow, simple, and hit the pocket. Now I've got some control, and so I'm trying to execute shots, but I'm not good enough to execute shots yet. And so I'm right in between. I either have when things click, I'm great, or when I'm not, I shoot 510 like I did on Friday. I had to strike out for 510. And then I practiced and just yelled and screamed and hit myself for another 15 games. And then when we got home, I figured out what was wrong in the shower.
wait a minute,
while I
you
was-
bowled another 15 games?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we bowled league on Friday, and I was so mad that I sat around and I bowled and I bowled and I bowled, and it didn't get any better. It didn't get any better, and then I figured out what was wrong because I shot 300 a couple weeks ago. I shot, 3 700s
Yeah.
in, and I thought, okay, things are getting better, and then all of a sudden something just kind of crept its way back in, and then I went like 630, 630, 510.
Yeah.
And it's
Can you
like,
share what was wrong?
I just want to close my shoulders. I want to close my shoulders and scoop the ball instead of opening up. Every lefty you've ever seen, you open your shoulders. Like Rhino Page, Simonelli, Anthony Pepe, whatever, any lefty that you want to watch.
I
Buttriff.
wanted to tell you that, but I did not think you were going to listen to me, so I said
Well, I
nothing.
thought I was opening my shoulders, but I was still kind of scooping the ball.
I so wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I-
It probably wouldn't have been good because I was in such a foul mood.
I still love you.
I was being a crybaby.
Yeah, he didn't even congratulate.
I was crying.
He was
Angel's
not a
been throwing it. No, Angel's been throwing it stupid. Stupid is good, dumb is bad. Angel's been throwing it stupid. She's been shooting 680s, 690s, whatever else, and
I love the in-shower realization.
yeah. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where it just clicks, and I'm mad, and it's one of those things where I'm so mad that I'm still sweating while I'm taking a cold shower because I'm trying to cool myself down because I'm so mad.
That's the red.
And then
red hair,
all of a sudden, it
On
clicks,
fire.
and I'm like, It's hard when something's wrong and you can't put your finger on it, and then it clicks, and then you're happy that you figured it out,
Yeah.
but you're even madder because of how big of a dumbass you are. Dumbass.
Hey, so we got a request. Can you guys bring back your league night videos? Maybe we'll do that on.
There will
Maybe.
be one this week.
When?
Oh yeah, because we're bowling Trevor.
We are doing one this week.
We would have. Well, I mean, we have to because we're bowling Trevor.
That
We're
was the
bowling.
deal.
We're bowling baby Jesus. This dude.
Have you? So do you know who Trevor
Louis,
Baumgartner is?
I don't think he knows.
Have you ever heard of
No.
Lou or seen him? Seen videos of him?
He's the best lefty that nobody's ever heard of. When Belmo posted something about does anybody throw it better than
Anthony Pepe.
Anthony Pepe, and everybody, oh, Parker Bone, this, that, and the other. Trevor's the best lefty that nobody's ever heard of. I mean, he's already got 4, 5, 800s and 300s this year, and just we've been
my
bowling
opinion,
league for 2-3 months.
Show
now.
me a lefty that throws it better.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
There's.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hard to find.
Show me a lefty that throws it better,
a
and I'll
righty.
prove you wrong.
Show me a righty that throws it better.
Just show me a righty. There's a few that throw it really good, but yeah, he's
I mean,
just so consistent, and that's the other thing about him is he's got so many tricks in his bag. Like, if he wants to spin it, he can spin it. If he wants to, kind of come over the top of it, he can come over the top of it. If he wants to, the guy is ridiculous, man. He'll
It's
tell you. I
almost-
said, "What'd you do there when you make a change?" Well, I didn't move. I just spun it. And I'm like, "What?" You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of a righty comparison. This would be more of a. His foot speed is pretty quick, but think like Jason Sterner, Chris Barnes. I mean, just guys that throw it perfect. AJ Chapman.
Yeah. I'll have to send you a video, Lou.
Holy crap! Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
please
just,
do.
it's just unreal.
So yeah, I guess are we miking up for that too, or?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
might
that's
have a-
actually up to you guys.
I don't care. I'm fine with it. I'm good with
Hey
it.
Luke, did you ever get that that lavalier mic?
No, not yet. They haven't come out with it yet. Hang on.
What's the matter?
The Brad and Kyle video. He was in the Brad and
Okay.
Kyle video.
Look,
Okay.
I got one right here, man. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
What is it?
The
Show it
Rhodes.
again.
The Rode lavalier mic.
The last time, so we went to go get those.
So I have this, right?
Yep, that's what
I
we
just
use.
got this
Yep.
one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you connect this to it.
And it works seamlessly, no problems.
Yeah.
So Rode actually
Yeah.
sent us these.
Yeah,
So,
Rhodes sent us the mics, but we don't have the lavalier mics yet. Okay.
So we went to
have
go get the
find
lavalier mics, and they were back ordered, so they didn't have them.
Sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's
So
the-
we got a couple of random little, or just
Oh.
not Rode brand ones, and they didn't work. So
Okay, so
we
this
probably
would
did something
be
wrong,
The house video.
Yeah, and it's the one where they don't fry or something.
Yeah, the house team calm. I think is the house
Yeah, something.
team calm.
you actually want to see a funny video, Lou? Get on the house channel and watch the one that Packy does with the. There he is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a. Oh, there he is. That's not a great video though.
It's not great, but it's because he's trying to make something happen here. But I'm gonna. Gosh, I don't even know how to share this.
He can't see it, can he?
No,
there's no way.
I'll put it over here.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
He'll be able to. Eventually,
This isn't a
he'll be able to
great shot,
eventually
though.
see it.
Turn your webcam some, Lou.
Huh?
Turn your webcam some, Lou.
It's up there.
Oh, you did put it there.
So yeah, this is not one of his better shot, but we're in Belton, and Belton's awful. This is the one where all the righties, the low righty game. There's 6 righties on this pair. The low righty was 250. I know there's 4 of them, and then Trevor shot 220 and Packy shot 180 on the. Tony Resnick shot 300.
Yeah.
Dylan shot 297.
Yep.
Cody Aldrich shot 279.
That pair was on fire on the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the left side had nothing.
Oh wow.
Kid is ridiculous,
I mean,
man.
Tony Resnick shot. He gives it the high heater, but he never misses. I mean, the guy never misses.
No, he will literally. You want him to split boards? He'll split boards.
Fireballs.
He bowled in college too.
See, I
so
mean,
it helped.
this one he popped up on a little bit because he's trying to give it the business. Because Belton is not a whole lot of fun, but he just kind of lets the ball into the swing and just, and he does that over
You know who?
and over and over again. What's up?
You know who doesn't throw it like that left-handed?
Me? Yeah.
Me either. I can't.
Also
You don't
me.
want to see me.
I've got
try
a bowling
left-handed.
next week in our scratch league.
So apparently
I had
we're-
to bowl baby Jesus Russell Wilson, who, if nobody knows who Russ Wilson is.
Not the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a quarterback of the Seahawks.
Yeah,
Yeah, say not that quarterback.
No, not that guy.
So we actually have in our Thursday night draft league, we have two or three players with Eagles in that league?
3 now because of Zach
Three.
Rhodes.
Yeah, Zach Rhodes is in there. Yeah.
So Russ Wilson is the current Pro Shop sales manager for Jayhawk. He runs the Jayhawk Pro Shop classes. He
Yep.
used to be the president of IBSIA, the International Bowling Proprietors, whatever that is. He won a national title at Wichita State in 2001, something like that.
He was on the team with Rash.
He
Yeah.
he has at least one Eagle. They won a team Eagle. I think they won a team all events Eagle, and they were 4th a couple of years ago. They're normally top 10, top 15, top 20 every single year at nationals.
Yep.
And he's still got some of his teammates. And if you go back the 30 clean that I did with Sean Rash, when Sean Rash got there, Russ Wilson, Joe Keltner, Jay
Yeah.
Futrell, Bo McVeigh, Nick Vaughn, all those guys that were the big deals.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got several collegiate national champions. I mean, we've got almost 10 collegiate national champions.
It's like
Nick
sick.
Vaughn, Bo McVeigh, Jay Futrell, Russ Wilson all bowl the league, Zach Rhodes.
Yep.
Zach Rhodes won with the Bowers, whatever, the team, and they finished like 9th or 10th again this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Zach Rhodes has both a team, a Nationals Eagle and a collegiate national championship.
So yeah, I mean that's we got some decorated
Yeah.
players in there. So
Yeah, and Russ's wife has 1 or 2 collegiate national championships. She's one of 2 women to ever shoot 800 at men's national or the Open Championships nationals.
she also has a Queen's title, doesn't she?
No,
Ooh.
she was on the Queen's show. So if
You
you,
know who
heard,
the
Oh,
other
yeah.
woman is?
huh?
You know who the other woman is to shoot 800
Wendy,
at the Open
yeah, Wendy
Championships?
McPherson.
No, Wendy
Wendy
McPherson.
Mack.
Wendy Mack, yeah. All right, so
You're really getting on some rabbit trails.
I know.
You should be using glue a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we gotta see this though. As soon as I can find this video again, unless they took it down. How do they not?
Storm
Okay,
dog.
my favorite shot bowling.
What are we doing here?
Jayhawk Bowling Supply has it right on their front page.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, well, I've got to find the Crystal Scott video.
Oh, Crystal
Or
Scott
this-
video. Oh yeah, dude. Holy
Okay.
heck, she throws it good. Wasn't she playing the rail?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Hi.
Yeah, I've got to find. Yeah.
Yeah, when she
Anyway.
shows up in the Thursday night, like she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm feeling like 500. Everybody laughs at her.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like 500. Yeah, I'm sure you are.
500 for 2.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, the like Angel was saying. So talk a little bit more. We started kind of talking about the sciencey stuff about it. Talk a little bit more about the differences, some of the differences between the companies as far as, well, this company kind of has
This shape.
this
and
general
yeah.
shape or reaction and
So, for me, I think, I don't know. All companies, you can find the shape you're looking for, right?
Mhm.
So, for me, I really like balls that read the front part of the lane, right? But sometimes I need stuff that also shapes down lane.
Right.
So, for me, it's all about finding the balls that are going to allow me to do like that. So, for example, like with Motive, the issue I had with Motive is whenever I had to get left of like third arrow,
Right.
I really struggled.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not bad. I just struggled. And then you go the opposite way, like with some of the Brunswick balls, it's kind of like the same thing where I kind of struggle when I have to get left of third arrow. And so far, the only company that's like consistently putting stuff out that really hits the back end is some of the Storm balls.
Mhm.
And that's not me. I mean, obviously I'm not, I'm a free agent, so I can say or throw whatever I want. But I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing is that some of the SPI balls are also pretty good in the front part of the lane. Not amazing, but they actually give me that option to, hit the back end. But like on the fresh, a little surface goes a long way. You know, so if I need an SPI ball to be, you know, read super early, super smooth, I have that option, like with the Zen Master, for example.
Right.
You know, I don't love that Zen Master, but if I need something to hook at my feet and be incredibly smooth, that's that option.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest difference that I'm seeing is that all the companies make really good stuff to read the front part of the lane and be smooth. But if I need something to really get down lane and create shape, not a lot of companies are making a lot of good stuff doing that right now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does, for sure. So,
Especially with my ball roll, like I know that I'm a weird bowler. I don't have I have very weird ball rolls. So
right. And when you're talking about the balls that you have left on motive side, you don't have a desert tank still?
No, you know, it's
I'm
funny
disappointed,
because
brother. Oh my goodness.
It's funny because the desert tank was like my all-time favorite ball.
Oh yeah.
But when the purple tank came out, I said it in a couple of videos, and like people see, like, it's like almost like the Mandela effect. Like it didn't even happen, right? Like
yeah.
When the purple tank came out, I started saying that I'm never throwing a desert tank again, because when I need urethane, the desert tank is not it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to bowl on Wolf, I have no chance with a desert tank.
No, heck no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, and then on house, there's so many better options. You know, like if I'm like the last couple weeks in league, are one of the guys in my team hasn't been bowling, and he has a super high rev rate. Anywhere he goes, he's the high rev rate in the building.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he wasn't bowling, and so I was the high rev rate on the pair the last couple weeks, and you know I was trying to play pretty straight with everyone else. I'm like, man, for the first time ever, I have the ability to just get left of everyone.
Right.
You know, so throwing balls like the desert tank, especially on house, forced me to play like right where everyone else was.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I get it. I think, honestly, I have one desert tank, and I think I've thrown it. The most I've ever thrown it was in Wichita here a few weeks ago when we bowled the Swiss trios on a tough pattern, and that's honestly the most that I've thrown it.
You know, the desert tank is turning into one of those balls also where while it was out, it was like wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
And now that it's discontinued, I see posts all the time, left and right, people looking for desert tanks.
Oh yeah, the Tank Blitz. I love that ball. I wish I'd throw it more. That's one I'm still shocked that we got rid of. That ball is so good.
Yeah, I had a desert tank, or not a desert tank. I had a Tank Blitz drill that was like 5 1/4 by 60 or something like that. It was like pin under the middle finger.
Yep.
And it rolled amazing, and then it cracked.
Oh no.
And then Brett sent me another one, and I drilled it the exact same way, and it cracked
Again?
No
way.
And then Brett sent me a third one, and I drilled it differently, and it didn't crack, but it rolled terrible. So then I ordered a fourth one, drilled it with that 5 1/4 by 60 pin under and then that one cracked.
Yeah.
I was like, is it the layout? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's weird. So to me, the Tank Blitz is like IQ Tourish for me.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
For me, it was way stronger than IQ.
See, well, I mean, you probably have even a little more rev rate than I have. So,
that's a cute dog.
Yeah.
I guess
Storm. What you doing, buddy?
And that's a cute name.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, I know. Yeah. What the heck is a golden doodle anyway?
Nope, you're clean.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah, he's just fuzzy. Anyhow.
I actually just drilled an IQ Tour.
I'm getting ready to drill an IQ Tour.
Drawing one today, are you?
It was my 7th IQ Tour ever drilled.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
7th IQ Tour, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 7.
That's probably gonna be pretty close for me because this will be number 2 or 3 lefty, and I had probably 4 or 5 of them right-handed. So yeah, I'm probably right there with you on 6 or 7.
Yeah, before I was on motive staff, any tournament and any meaningful tournament, I drilled an IQ Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm bowling that regional next week. I'm like, okay, IQ Tour, pitch black.
IQ Tour
Can't go
is really
wrong.
good. Yeah, you've got to take the IQ Tour for sure.
Yeah.
It's that ball's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty user friendly too. Like it rolls really good at like the box, which I think is 4,000,
Yep.
and then it rolls really freaky good at like 1,000.
If you can
Yeah.
if you can get your hands on an astrophysics, you'll thank me later.
Yeah, you know, I had
Basics.
an opportunity to pick up an astrophysics pretty recently, but I ended up doing like a little 3-way trade where I sent someone a Sonic.
Yep.
They sent someone else an astrophysics,
Yep.
and then someone else sent me something else.
I love that ball so much.
The RSTX2 is really close. It's a little quicker. It's a little faster down lane, but it gives you the idea.
Astro is R2S Pearl.
Yeah. And
You know, I probably would have liked that because I like stronger cores with weaker covers.
yeah.
But you know, I think I had this conversation with Angel in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Any balls that I pick up now is to try to create more content for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, an astrophysics might be a pretty good ball, but all I do is bowl league. So do I need another ball for league?
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't bowl a lot of tournaments in?
So I want to. I'd love to bowl tournaments every weekend, but my job, you know, I work Saturday through Wednesday,
Yeah.
12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So any tournament that I bowl, I have to take time off of work for.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that would be rough.
That's kind of why I've been going crazy with this YouTube thing, is trying to find a way to like maybe supplement my income, like maybe go find a different job that pays me maybe a little bit less, plus the YouTube, just to try to have like a regular 9 to 5 where I can bowl on the weekends.
I turned
if it
down
was
a
up to
couple
me,
of
if it was up
jobs.
to me, I'd bowl a tournament every weekend.
I turned
Yeah.
down a couple of jobs that were going to pay really well, just for that reason, because they wanted me to work Saturdays, and I'm like, yeah, it's not going to fly.
Mm-hmm.
I bowl
Yeah.
too much. Sorry, I'd rather bowl tournaments than I would make money, I guess.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, I used to. So I live in Las Vegas now, but I'm from Miami, Florida originally. I used to work at a bank, and I was bowling weekends. I was bowling tournaments every single weekend.
Yeah.
You know, like local sweepers, doubles things here and there, team events every weekend. But now, I mean, I got nothing, man.
You guys have a lot of like local stuff out there, like sweepers weekly and stuff like that, or what?
No.
Really? See,
Yeah.
we're blessed where we live because we have a lot of tournaments.
I mean, here we have a lot of local like handicap tournaments and stuff. Like we have ABT. I don't know if you guys have the ABT out there.
We do, but it's very small. I think they tried to get it running out here and it just kind of flopped.
Yeah, but you know the ABTs. There's a lot of handicap.
Yeah,
in the ABTs.
It's pretty much
And
a
then-
joke. Yeah.
Actually, funny story. So I bowled an ABT like I don't know 6 months ago or 7 months ago,
Yeah.
and I led qualifying throwing a revolt, a covert revolt.
Oh. We had a guy in league throwing on the other night.
Yeah. So I led qualifying with
Oh,
a
buddy.
covert revolt, seeded into the finals, 1-game match. I'm like, okay, as long as I don't run into like a buzzsaw, I should have this in the bag. And I ended up bowling George Gohagen finals.
George O'Hagan, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, I shoot 230 and got smoked. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like we're pretty much in the longest drought of tournaments right now that I think we've had in forever. Usually we're bowling something every weekend, and we do not bowl anything until the weekend before Thanksgiving. Is that something?
There's 3 more weekends.
Yeah, but then we have
We have 3 and 4 days.
yeah, we have 3 and 4 days, 3 tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all of
I
our
wish.
local tournaments are like PBA regionals. So
Yeah, because we're so close to Wichita that the one down in Emporia that we were in Tulsa for,
oh my goodness,
Frankie.
Frankie went nuts.
Brad Miller, Packy,
Zach Rhodes.
Zach Rhodes, who
Kevin
else?
Williams.
Kevin Williams, Spencer Robarge,
Yep.
Blake Demore.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like half the field. Half the field was pro bowlers or should be pro bowlers
or
or
whole PBA event. We have them all the time.
Because you got
yeah
a bowl PBA, man.
yeah.
Titles are on the line.
Yeah, so
Real
it's
titles.
completely normal to walk at Zach Wilkins whenever he's in town.
He's
visiting
in
the
town now.
Coolies.
He's
yeah.
bowling Thanksgiving. So.
Yeah, Zach
I
Wilkins.
will have at least 10 PBA players at every one.
Mhm.
At
Nice.
least. It's nuts.
Yeah, the this doubles regional in bowling next weekend. It is a star-studded field.
Oh yeah, I'm
Some of-
sure.
Some of these teams are like crazy.
The one in Emporia when we were in Tulsa a couple weeks ago, Frankie goes 300, 300, was like 280 or something silly. It was
Yeah.
silly. He shot like 880 in the first 3 games.
Yeah, and
What
then
did
he
you
shot
see?
and then he ended up shooting 800 or 300 again. He shot
Yeah, he shot
three 300s in an 8-game block.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm just happy
Did
for
you
one.
guys see what Stephanie Zavala did yesterday?
96.
Mhm.
She was like nowhere near the number, and then went crazy the back like 5 or 6 games, and
Yeah.
then went from nowhere near the number to in the show.
You
I
know?
mean, she shot 96 the first game.
yeah, she shot 96 and then made the show.
She went 90. She shot 96. Turned around the next game and went front 8.
Yeah.
Insane.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I would do. I'd go from nothing to something just like that. But it's always when for me though, it's always like the last game when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, all right, let's get a little more focused in on the science phase and bowling thing. Let's get to we got about 30 minutes left here, so we talked about a bunch of things. So the science phase in bowling really gets me because I used to, and I said this last week, but I used to work for a federally funded testing lab, testing concrete, and the fun thing about data is that you can make the data show whatever you want. So if I took the trend out and bowled a game on the left lane and a game on the right lane, then I could give you data that shows that blue balls shoot higher scores on the left lane. And that would be accurate data, because if I shoot 250 on the left lane, 230 on the right lane, I can hand you data so blue bowling balls strike more and shoot better games on the left lane.
I actually just got an Instagram
whatever
video
pair
of
that
us
you're
now.
on.
Last
Yeah.
week you were saying pink ball strike, and I just got you with
Yeah.
blue balls. Do this
Yeah.
better. So sorry, carry on.
So, I mean, I can give you data to show you whatever I want. So, whenever you are working with testing or data or anything else, you have to make sure that first of all, you know what you're doing. Because if
Yeah.
you don't know what you're doing and you're just trying to fish for data, you know, like the whole, well, layouts are this percentage to this percentage of ball reaction, that's going to be completely different if you're doing like tropical storms with several different layouts versus asymmetric balls with several different layouts. Because layouts, when somebody asks me how do I drill a tropical storm or something, it's like, well, the core is virtually non-existent. So a layout is not going to do you a whole lot, because layouts are based on altering core dynamics. And if there's not a whole lot of core dynamics to alter in the first place, a layout's not going to do anything. However,
Right.
when you have an asymmetric ball, layouts become infinitely more important.
Yep.
Or, you know, you put, you know, surface on a plastic ball, it's not going to make it do a whole lot different things than if you have like a shiny reality versus a 1000 or 2000
It'll
hertz
just
reality.
pick up a little bit.
Yeah, the plastic ball will just hook sooner,
Yeah.
or it'll just grab sooner, but it won't actually, surface isn't going to do near
It'll
as much
actually
with-
bite the lane a little bit.
Yeah, it's not going to do near as much with plastic as it will with something
Right.
where it's actually got something to work with.
Correct.
So,
So I mean, like, here's my take on that. I'm not one of those people who believes that layout doesn't matter. I believe layout matters, because if you believe that layouts don't matter, take a proton physics and drill it like a 6.5-inch pin
yeah,
by 80-degree bow angle, and then drill another proton physics 3 3/8 by 30, for
Yeah.
example.
I'm right there
I
with
mean-
you. Layouts matter, 100%.
Now, do I believe that surface maybe plays like a bigger factor? I mean, sure, because the cover is what's actually touching the lane, but
yeah,
they have to go hand in hand.
uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You can't drill a proton physics, you know, like 50 by 3 3/8 by 60, for example, and hit it with a 500 pad and then think it's going to get down lane in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they have to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I agree 100% though on layouts. I think layouts 100% matter.
Well, and then the thing there is that okay, so you have all the science, you have all this data, you have everything. If you don't, number one, you're not going to get accurate data if you don't know what you're doing in the first place.
Right.
And then number two, okay, so you have all the data. How are you going to use that? How is it going to translate? How are you going to translate the paper to the online stuff? Because people already don't understand, core numbers, cover formulas, whatever else, and then you give them this data that says, okay, well, surface equals this much percent of ball reaction, and layouts this much percent, cores this much, cover formulas this much, whatever else, and people, oh, this is science, this is data. Okay, well, what do you do with that now?
Right.
If you don't understand cores, covers, and all that stuff to begin with, just giving you, okay, well, this is this much a reaction, this is this much a reaction, how's that going to help you bowl? I mean, how's that?
I mean, so like I'm on staff with CTD, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that it's pretty dangerous rhetoric, talking about how layout is X percent, whatever, surface is this percent, because that information doesn't help you become a better bowler. I've had this conversation with, I don't know, you guys know who Andrew Graff is? US Open.
Yeah, I know the name, yeah.
So Andrew Graff is a really, really good friend of mine. And we've had this conversation in the past. And the question has always been, as you learn more and more about bowling technology, cover stock technology, layout technology, how does that make you a better bowler?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I'm that much better of a bowler at all because of that information that I've learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That in bowling, especially, the physical game is so important. I mean, if your physical game isn't there, it doesn't matter how strong your mental game is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
But and if you go the other way, if your physical game is 100, but you don't know anything about cover stock technology, you're still going to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's plenty of dumb bowlers who throw the ball freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Who don't know anything about layouts, who don't know anything about surface. They just get up there and throw the ball.
That's
Yeah.
Trevor. Trevor knows surface, but he doesn't know anything about cover and core combos.
But he knows, well, this ball's striking, this ball's not striking, this ball's striking from here, but not striking from here. And so they don't pay attention. You hand them a bowling ball, and they figure out how to make it strike because they throw it good and they know how to make it strike. And that's the thing that I keep going back to. When I got into the pro shop in the first place, I threw it naturally good when I was in youth. The couple of years that I was in youth, and then I got in the pro shop. I started getting into the sciencey, techie stuff, and then I got really bad really quick because I was trying to improve.
Yeah.
And so I got really bad, and I got really in my head, and that lasted for years. It lasted for a long time, and then I dislocated my shoulder, and that made it even worse. And then, and now I'm bowling with the opposite hand, and that's still not even.
Yeah.
Again, when everything's clicking and I'm throwing it good, I'm scoring really well. But again, these last couple weeks, when something kind of crept its way back in, all of a sudden I still know what I'm doing. I still know this ball looks good, this ball doesn't look good, but I'm not throwing it good, and so my scores just took a nosedive. So even though I know what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing, I haven't thrown it good the last couple weeks. And then beyond that, that's why I keep telling people is that, you can know what you're doing, you can have all this information, you can be talking this, that, and the other, and whatever else, but there's two basic rules in bowling to follow. It's stay behind the foul line and knock the little white sticks down.
And don't fall.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it boils down to is stay behind the line, knock the pins down. And the people that do that the best are some of the most unconventional. Walter Ray throws it terrible, but he hits the pocket every time. He's the winningest bowler in history. Pete Weber throws it amazing, has no idea about ball tech or anything. He doesn't want to know. He's like, you know what, this is how I want the ball to react. Give me this ball. And then he knocks pins down with it.
Holy smokes, that was really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really good.
But yeah, and he knocks the pins down. Mark Roth kind of had a seizure on the way to the line and then spun the piss out of it, but he knew how to knock the pins down. Jacob Buttriff does literally everything wrong that you can possibly do wrong. Except
until the moment of release.
The release is perfect. The way he kind of corkscrews it and gets inside of it's the perfect lefty game. It's the perfect lefty game. And he was actually bowling the same squad as us for doubles and singles at nationals this year. And he shot 170 the first game, and then shot 720 that set, and then 720 or 730 the following set. And the last 5 games, if he didn't strike, it was a tap or something. Like he throws it so good, and it's just so crazy to watch, especially when you see the difference between a pro and then kind of your average Joe or whatever. They throw it so much better, and they throw it so much better, so much more often that it's kind of overwhelming to watch.
It's like, how do you do that over and over and over and over again?
I mean, when you have a Jacob Buttriff that has a conventional grip, runs to the line, lets go of the ball before he's done sliding, corkscrews it, spins it, steps off every shot, and just knocks the pins down all the time.
You would absolutely never teach that.
No, you can take science and data and just kind of go like that and
rain on me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I ask this question all the time, to people. I'm like, would you rather be a genius, right, like bowling-wise,
right,
like know everything, or would you rather throw the ball like, I don't know, Marshall Kent? Because I'd rather throw the ball like Marshall Kent.
I was going to say, I'd rather throw the ball like Marshall Kent. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Sorry?
Yeah, no, because that's kind of the thing.
It's going to be that loud.
Because take somebody like Rick Benoit, who's one of the, geniuses as far as bowling coaching and whatever else. I mean, if he goes and coaches somebody's national team, they win. Like he coached Colombia's national team for a while. They won a bunch of stuff. He went overseas. I think it was Saudi Arabia or something like that, where he was in real big with the prince or something over there, and he spent 4 or 5 years in Saudi Arabia, I think, is where it was. And their team got really good.
He worked with Team Columbia for a while too.
Yeah.
Because we were. You said Columbia. I didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We bowled one of the Linehan one night. He brought him on.
They had all there. Yeah, Rocio.
Angie Ramirez was there.
Yeah, Rocio and Angie Ramirez and the whole Columbia national team was there.
It's just kind of different. So.
But he's not that great of a bowler himself. I mean, he was decent. He's pretty good. But he's a whole lot better at coaching than he is at bowling. And you're talking about somebody that knows more about bowling than probably anybody else.
His brother runs circles around him.
Yeah. But you're talking about somebody that knows more about bowling than pretty well anybody else on the planet. But he's not really... He's good, but he's not that great of a bowler himself.
Bob is his brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Bob, and there's another one, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have Bob Benoit out here.
Yeah.
That's another one we have. Do you know that name, Bob Benoit, by the way?
No.
Yeah, he was if you go look up, he was the first time he was on TV, he bowled Mark Roth. He was the number 1 seed. He bowled Mark Roth, and he shot 300 in the championship match. So his first game, his first television appearance on TV in '88 or '89 or something like that. He shoots 300 against Mark Roth. So he was like the first.
He also has a Masters title, doesn't he?
I don't know. I know he's got 5 or 6 titles.
I thought he was a major champion.
But yeah, he was a pro in the 80s, 90s, whatever else. And he's around town here.
Bob Benoit.
He's another one that doesn't really know or care much about bowl tech.
No, he's the weirdest guy ever though because his fingers, like he wants it sharp. So if he grabs it, he wants it to cut him so he doesn't do it again.
He does not bevel.
It's weird. Yeah.
He does not use grips. He doesn't use a slug. Nothing. He drills the ball and he throws it the way it comes off the press.
Wow.
So there's not even, punching it with there's no bevel knife, there's no sander, there's no just take the edge off. No, if he grabs it, he wants it to cut him.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, why would I want that? Yeah.
And he taught himself how to hook it with a 6-pound house ball.
Yeah, he actually used to throw it. It's kind of crazy if you go back and watch. He used to throw it like Norm Duke, but he wasn't as good as Norm. And he used to talk about their league team down in Texas. It used to be him and Del Ballard and Norm Duke and a couple other heavy hitters.
Right. Yep. Sorry, I'm looking it up. He He was the. Where was it? He was the Benoit would be on the other end, televised 300 game, losing 300. I'm sure this is Benoit's first ever title, as well as his first appearance on a telecast, making him the first bowler in history to score 300 in their very first TV appearance. This distinction stood until 2016 when Frankie Lavoie shot 300 in his first TV appearance.
Yeah.
So,
Anyhow.
sorry, carry on.
Frankie knocked him off his
Mhm.
pedestal.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there when
Oh,
Frankie shot
Frankie.
300 on tour. It was at a
Yeah.
U.S. Open show, I think it
I'm
was.
trying to see what titles he won. That's all I was wanting to see. I really
Yeah.
care less about the others. Anyway, yeah,
Frankie,
sorry.
yeah.
Carry on.
Anyhow, so the whole science and technology thing, you have to be able, and this is the biggest. Yeah, Mark Baker, Bill Hall, better coaches than bowlers, really, and they're so good of coaches that it's hard at some point to be a better.
And there's nothing wrong with being a better coach than bowler. But
Yeah, because you can help a bunch of people out instead of just
yeah.
it'd be a whole lot. I'd love to have some personal success myself, but I can be a
Right.
YouTube ball review guy because that's special.
I think you both are now hashtag bowling famous.
Yeah, we're.
I
Yeah,
think you
that's
both-
the. I think I told you about that. That's the. I coined that. Bowling. Yeah, bowling famous because out in public nobody has any clue who you are, but you go into a bowling alley and all of a sudden you're famous.
People talking to you.
I'm a good 10,000 subs behind Luke, so I got quite a bit of ways to catch up.
You're still known.
Subs are a vanity number because now all of a sudden I've got 15,000 subs and I'm happy to get 10 or 12,000 views on a video anymore. So, but yeah, all YouTube is kind of trending that way unless you're Darren Tang.
Well,
But
that was the Rona thing, though. The coronavirus thing kind of changed YouTube a little bit because everybody got on it. And,
well, yeah, everybody's making videos now, and especially for something like you have the Trend 2 that was supposed to come out in like August or something, and then they delayed it 7 times, and then they've had a zillion videos up about it and whatever else. I'm surprised I got as many views on that as I did, but
yeah, it's
anyhow,
Alright.
back to the science and data thing. If you don't understand RG differential, intermediate differential, cover stock formulas in the first place, you can take the data and throw it out the window because unless you understand the stuff at a basic level, the data about that stuff is not going to be important or matter at all.
yeah.
I agree.
But then you have people that try to add data that don't know what they're doing. And again, we're not going to name any names or point out anything, and that's people can say that that's awful arrogant. We're saying that you know what you're doing and nobody else does, and it's like, well, I know enough to know that data is. We have something called standard deviation, which is a testing term for saying, okay, well, how many of the variables can you control? How consistent can you make the testing results from test to test to test? And there were some that, just because of the nature of what we were testing, we couldn't control enough of the variables to say, oh yeah, well, we guarantee this with 95% accuracy. We're able to control enough of the constants, or we're able to lock this down at this temperature and this absolute amount of this type of material and this material and this material and humidity and this and that, all the kind of contributing factors to what's going on. We controlled this to something to where we can replicate this accurately 95% of the time. We had some tests that we did that had a 50% standard deviation, which is just, you might as well not even test then, because it's like, well, we can get this right about 50% of the time, and the other 50 is, I don't know, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
At bowling.
So I wonder what the standard deviation is in ball manufacturing.
It's definitely different from curing times versus how the resurfacing pads. Like, how old are the resurfacing? You get a ball batch that comes out, and you have to have. I'm sure that they use industrial diamonds and stuff like that, stuff that doesn't really wear down, but that stuff has to be changed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can have like an Aberlon pad or a True Cut pad or whatever else. It's eventually going to wear down, and so your 1,000 grit surface one time might end up being like 2,200 or 2,300 the next time,
Yeah.
which is fine as long
Yeah, I
as
mean,
you.
I've opened the box of a pitch black that was charcoal,
Yeah,
and I've also opened a pitch black that was, or not a pitch black, sorry, a phase 2.
yeah.
I've had a phase 2 that's been charcoal out of the box, and then another phase 2 that was, it looked like it was 4,000.
Yeah, Angel's got a few IQ tours that we specifically saved aside because we got a couple IQ tours in, and one of them was just like it's like they stuck it on the 100 or 500 pads,
Yeah.
smeared the paint in, wiped that off, and then stuck it in the box. I mean, it's
Wow.
just absolute charcoal.
Oh, her IQ tour.
Yeah, her IQ tour that still,
It looks
after 50 games, still looks like it's 3,000 grit.
It's
I
funny
thought more than
because
that. It say, oh no, I'm sorry, because it was what, like 500? It looked
It
500.
had to have been 500.
Yeah, I have
It's-
2 more. I won't let him drill those.
Yeah, that's the weirdest bowl I've ever seen. Because it's just,
it's funny, the IQ tour that I just
Yeah.
drilled, out
I'm
of the
surprised you
box,
don't
it looked
stash
like
more of
lane
those.
shined almost.
Yeah, and some of them
IQ tour.
do. Some of them look like they're lane shined out of the box.
Yeah.
that's true.
And hers looked like it was just grab one of those if you can. There's because I already took the other one
Yeah,
upstairs
you
that
got
you said
the-
I can have.
You got the one that I approved that I would give you.
Yeah,
An IQ tour, are you pulling out one of the 500
yeah, one of
IQ
the chalk
tours?
ones, and these aren't near as
Yeah.
bad as the first one that she drilled, but they're close.
Oh God, sit in that chair too long.
This is 40,
That's,
but no, and so it's
no, that's a movie.
so when people don't even know,
I know, right?
at what time of the year that they pour them. Like if you pour them later in the year, most of the time they're going to phase a little bit, so they'll have the white streaks in them. Even this IQ's got some white streaks
I'll
in
put
it.
it back.
Do you have a Do you have a?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Hey, look at this,
That's even got some phasing in it.
look, for any of my Hammer fans,
Ooh,
Can't see it. And where's the logo? Am I good? Down, up?
yeah.
Oh, I can see it. It's fine.
hey, Luke, you see this? For any of my Hammer fans,
Oh yeah, the real monster.
The real monster. Sweet.
yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet.
Drill it.
No.
Probably will not do this.
No.
I'm a bad influence because I will always say, drill it.
Yeah.
Drill it every time.
Well, if I knew with 100% certainty that I was going to remain a free agent, or if I knew that I was going to end up with Hammer, for example,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would drill it 100%. But
But yeah, it's November basically for all intents and purposes. And if you drill it and you end up with somebody else,
You're going to be mad.
yeah, it's gonna be
very
unfortunate
mad.
because I had to give up my Covert Revolt, my Sigma Tour, my Silver Tribal, my Rotor Grip Sinister when I signed with Storm,
Yep.
and that hurt. The motive stuff hurt because the Covert, the Sigma Tour, and the Silver Tribal were 3 of the best I've ever thrown. Period.
Sigma Tour was the nuts.
Yeah, I mean it was so good, and that hurt. But I'm not complaining now because I wouldn't still have or be throwing any of those balls now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
mine.
yeah.
Still.
Yeah. So this isn't near as chalky as Angel's first one started. I don't know if you can see, but you can still see from where the logos, or where
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
see
yeah.
the aura around where the paint was. This is Angel's IQ tour now after she drilled it, and she's got 50 or 60 games on this. I mean, this is 50 games in, and you can still see the texture on the ball.
Yeah. It doesn't look as lane shined.
Yeah, like it's shined, but you can still see the lines in the cover. Like this thing was chalky, just whatever else. This actually has some. When was this poured?
21.
So I'm curious now.
Inspection date is 2/24/21.
Okay, so this was a winter pour then, basically. So it's got some of the phasing in it. You can see these little white streaks kind of in the bottom, and they have some in the side by the IQ logo, and
Because you're pouring bullet
So-
balls in Utah
yeah,
in
when you're
winter.
when you're pouring balls in Utah in the winter, sometimes they phase. That's actually how the original phase got its name, as the cover just wanted to phase. Period. Anyway, but so yeah, you can have stuff come out at different ages of pad use. You can have stuff come out on cold, you can be cured on cold days or warm days or days when the barometric pressure is higher, and then the raw materials change because the stuff that they make the bowling balls out of, it's just like different batches of oil. You can be using the same oil type, like you can still be using Kegel ice or something.
Yeah.
But the raw materials can change, the batches can change. Centers will, we've heard where, okay, well, we started a new batch of oil, all of a sudden the scores went up for everybody, like 10 or 15 pence a game for 2 weeks. So they call the distributor back and then they buy the rest of that batch of oil because something about that batch of oil is different. Again, so there's no way to control all the constants in bowling. You would have to re-oil the lanes after every single shot.
Yep.
And then the lane machine is not, it's accurate, but there's so many different parts within a lane machine that it's not going to oil the lanes the same every time.
That's what I was going to say.
And as you oil the lanes every single time,
take Lawrence, for example.
the pattern memory, and the pattern memory gets built into the lane machine the more that you use it. One of the craziest things is when they had the U.S. Open in 2017, 2018 here at North Rock in Wichita, and just watching the differences between the squads as the lanes ran 3 times because they had 3 squads a day. They had 4 different patterns, and so they had the PTQ pattern, and then they used that for day 1 of qualifying. So they ran it once. You bowled 8 games. Then the next time, I think they actually had league that night, or because they bowled on a Wednesday.
They didn't have a pro-am?
The PTQ was on a Wednesday. Then they had a PTQ, or they had practice sessions, and then a pro-am on Thursday. Okay. So they ran the 3 different patterns on Thursday. Then they had a house shot down for the pro-am on Thursday night. Yeah. Then they ran the 3 different. So they had 3 squads on Friday. So they ran squad 1, squad 2, squad 3. Well, every single time they ran the lanes, the pattern memory gets built more into the brushes and the rollers and the cloth and whatever else in the lane machine. So depending on which squad you were bowling that day, sometimes they were easier, sometimes they were harder. It depends on how difficult the
usually
pattern
that last
too.
Squad is always going to be tough.
Well, the last squad, it depends on if the pattern was easier, if it was tougher. Because if you went from a tougher pattern to an easier pattern, the morning squad was going to be the tough one, and then the scores would go up, and then the scores would go up. And the bowlers, they don't come and watch the other squads. If you're in squad C, or if you're the last squad of the day, you're not watching A squad or B squad.
I get that.
Like on the first day, because it's like, well, I'm not going to learn anything, or I'm going to think, okay, well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or whatever else. And they don't even really pay that much attention to the practice squad.
Kickers, they really don't have to anymore with the ball reps. The ball reps tell them what they need to do anyway.
Well, yeah.
Because they will literally spend, if there's 3 squads in a day, they have to spend the whole day there.
Mm-hmm.
That would suck.
Yeah, the ball reps have a rough job, but just the amount of things that change as quickly as they change, there's no way to lock down any kind of data in bowling and say anything other than you have to understand what you're doing. Yeah. If you don't understand, if you don't have an eye for ball reaction, I mean, all bets are off.
Everything goes out the door.
Yeah, it's one of the most, I should say, underrated pieces of bowling is people don't understand with taking just the science, not even just the data, science in general, lane play. Like you just said, running a pattern over and over again. You can run a house pattern and it gets different over and over again. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that because, like, you can go bowl and then they'll put the exact same shot down and then they'll say, well, it's really tight this week. I don't understand why isn't it hooking like it did last week? Or vice versa. Well, different pairs, different, you know what I mean? Yeah. Pair to pair is different in a bowling center.
How long the oil sits there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Letting the oil. So if you're bowling a tournament and they run, say, a championship pair for a tournament, like say when we did on the shootouts, we had a pair that always would sit still by itself, that wasn't touched.
For 6 hours.
For 6 hours with fresh oil. Guess what? It ain't gonna play like it did when you first started. So it's.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, I mean, going back to the science thing, I think the biggest thing is the eye test. What is the bowling ball doing?
Yeah.
The bowling ball's not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
What you see or what Luke sees or what you, Jonathan, see is always going to be different. Yeah. What us 3 see is going to be different. But the bowling ball doesn't lie. You know,
Mhm.
if you're
Yeah.
leaving 4 or 5 9-pins in a row, or Luke as a lefty 4 or 5 8-pins in a row, it's time to move. No matter what,
Yeah.
whatever your science says or whatever,
Yeah.
the ball's not going to lie to you.
Yeah, that's facts.
Well, this is what drives me insane about the collegiate stuff is that they beat this. If you ever bowl with a collegiate bowler or you
Bang and
whatever else,
Thane.
it's urethane number one,
Freaking
and then
urethane.
it's always the jive talk or the the lingo or whatever else is the thing. Is they're always talking about 2-and-1s or 3-and-2s or this or that or my release mechanism or my whatever else, and it's just like, okay, well you're bowling terrible because you're not paying any attention to. It's like, well, I left the 4-pin, so I automatically need to make a 2-and-1 left. That might not be the. I mean, I bowled the U.S. Open, the PTQ in 2018 or whatever. I watched Matt Ogle leave a 4-pin, and he led qualifying. He'd leave a 4-pin. And one time he would change balls. The other time he would jump an arrow left after a 4-pin. He'd throw like a 5-bagger, then leave a 4-pin, and instantly move 3 or 4 left, or change balls or something else, just instantly off of a 4-pin.
Yeah.
And that's when you're thinking it's like, I might have tugged that one a little bit, or I might have done this or whatever. No, he would throw a 5-bagger, leave a 4-pin, make some ridiculously drastic change, and then throw another 5-bagger. And that's just one of them things that. I mean, it's so experience heavy that you can't just, well, the data shows this. What does your data show? Or if you challenge somebody's numbers, or well, where's your data? It's like, I don't need data.
That's why those guys are so good.
I don't need data to tell you that, the idle synergy is not the strongest hybrid or the strongest shiny ball that somebody's ever thrown. It's
A lot of it's a formula. You can call it collegiate bowling with set process. It's exactly right. Sometimes I think they just in collegiate bowling,
Yeah.
I think sometimes they just put way too much stuff that's not necessary in their heads.
well, and that's why I think that you have to. I mean, you have to know what you're doing, and then even the guys that throw it the best. I mean, some of the best guys out there don't make TV a whole bunch, and they haven't won anything yet or whatever. And there's some of, I don't want to name names because I really like a lot of these people, and they throw it just stupid good, but they haven't had any real success yet, or they haven't figured out how to win yet, or how to make TV shows or whatever else. Because even though they throw it amazing and they have all the numbers and they have all the practice and whatever, and that's kind of the funniest thing is that you see a lot of these people that spend the most time posting on Instagram about drill. They post drills and all the work and all the working out and the this and the that, but they don't win.
We're talking about AJ Chapman.
I'm sorry, I laughed immediately.
Oh my God! Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about.
I'm not going to name names. And then Lou just says, hammer.
That's exactly who I'm. Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm like.
But yeah,
I'm
I mean
like,
that's the thing, and I really like
It's like
AJ.
his turbo logo. He's
Huh?
red.
well,
Yeah, I know.
He's as red
Yeah,
as...
seriously, I mean, I really
you're
like AJ.
You're describing this. I'm like, man, I think I follow that guy.
I know.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Well, and that's the
not
thing,
his
because I
name.
really.
There's some women.
I don't know AJ Chapman personally. I've never met him. He obviously doesn't know that I exist, but I mean, he is a fantastic bowler.
Yeah.
He might. I ran into him in Tulsa
Last year.
either last year or the year before.
It was last year.
And yeah, he watches. He watches stuff. So he probably does. He watches reviews and whatever else. He's not going to be. Hopefully, he's not going to be watching this. But no, I mean, he throws it.
Tag AJ Chapman in the comments.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because you're going to get somebody to show this, and they're going to timestamp it. And
Drop
they're
it
going to tag
right
him in
here.
the comment.
AJ Chapman, if you're watching, I am a fan of yours. I am not roasting you.
Yeah, no. Well, and that's the thing is he throws it so good. He throws it perfect. I mean, hey, can you imagine? I'm brown nosing my ass off now.
You're gonna.
But no, seriously, you can't point out more than a handful of bowlers maybe ever that throw it better than AJ does.
He does every time.
I mean, if you're watching this, whatever else, I mean, if somebody just said, hey, can we throw it like AJ Chapman? I mean, that's like a wish from a frickin' genie or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
he throws it amazing. John Zerbinsky had the same thing.
Give me a pair of
John
towels. Wipe this
Zerbinsky
nose
throws
off.
it, huh?
Nothing, I'm messing
I know,
with you.
yeah. I can't wipe the red off my face though.
Oh.
But no, he throws it amazing. And this is the other thing, is going back to somebody like, and Verity. I love Verity. And she won, and then as soon as she won, the floodgates are open. Like, she obliterated the PWBA tour this year. And I think it's one of those things where, you know, you've got to figure out how to make these things meet in the middle. And somebody like Daria Payuk has been working a bunch, and it's on Instagram all the time. It's drills this and drills that and practice this and practice that. And it's like, well, you gotta figure out a way to flip the switch. Like Diana Zavialova is kind of the same way. She's big into fitness, she's big into working out, she's big into drills and everything else. But she's got kind of that Shannon O'Keefe switch, where Shannon is another one that's always posting drills and always posting everything else, but she knows how to flip that switch when she gets on the show.
She knows how to win.
It's time to step on people's throats. I mean, it's time to just flat out, she's got that, okay, well, I'm going to take all of this, and now I'm not just going to, okay, well, I need to make a 2-in-1, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, or she's got that blend of working it in to where she's got the muscle memory, and now it's time to win.
Yep.
Now it's time to knock the pins down. It's time to take this and take it to the next level, instead of just saying, okay, well, I've got to stay within the process. I've got to just make good shots and whatever else. It's like, if your good shots are like, you know, like you said, if your good shots are leaving stone 9s or flat 10s or 4 pins or whatever else, are they really good shots?
Yeah.
You can't just say, okay, well, I mean, I shot 190, it was clean, I went out and I threw a good game, and I was focusing on my mechanics, and, you know, I just need to stay within the process. And it's like, well, the process got you a 190 and you lost by 40 pins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll get you there, but when it's time to actually do something, that's when the bowling sense, that sixth sense, the bowling knowledge, the bowling whatever else, has to help you get it done. You have to use that in a different direction instead of just staying on that
So
kind of practice path.
So would, say, somebody who has spent the time and practiced and done everything be able to, by doing that, they would then be able to tell that was a bad shot is why 4-pin, or that was a bad luck? Like, I made a good shot, it was just the luck of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's sometimes you throw a good shot, and that's what drives me nuts about the Specto and the stuff. And they say, oh, well, gosh, you missed 2 boards left. It's like, well, no.
I don't like
the
Specto.
ball didn't get out there because the ball hooked at 25 feet.
I don't like Specto because I think, I mean, it's a great tool,
like,
but I'm
oh,
just
God,
not, you know what I mean?
Well, that's a perfect, for what we're talking about. A couple of my classroom videos, that's the thing, is I mentioned that, is like, okay, so you have Specto, and then you have, okay, it gives you rev rate, it gives you ball path, it gives you the board positioning, but if you run into this lane transition and the ball starts hooking at 25 feet, even if you throw it at the right angle and you're aiming at 8 board, it's not going to get there because it's hooking early.
If it hooks before,
Yeah, and then they're looking at that on, well, this hit 8.1 at the break point and this other one was 10.2. He just missed left. It's like, no, the ball started hooking at 25 feet.
Yeah.
That wasn't a miss. That was a good shot. That lane transition altered, and so now you have to make a decision based on that.
Yeah.
And some people will, I don't know how many times where one of these collegiate bowlers, and, you know, they leave a 4-pin, it's like, well, I need to make a 2-in-1 left. It's like, no, you missed 3 left.
Right.
Like, it was just a flat tug off your hand. Just because you're looking 15 at the arrows, if you're looking at 15 and trying to get it to 10, if you hit 15, but it was at 12 at the arrows, or, you know, you hit 15, or you just flat ass tugged it, like, I mean, if you tugged it, how can you make a move off of a tug? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking 15 at the arrows and looking at 10 down lane, and it didn't strike, so I need to move. Like, no, you need to make a good shot. Just because you were looking at that didn't mean that you actually hit that.
I tugged at 15 boards, time to change balls.
Yeah. And so
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who have zero idea what they're doing physically, and they're like, hey, what ball should I buy? Like, well,
yeah.
maybe take some lessons.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, does anybody ever want to hear that? I mean, to
No,
be
no.
honest.
No.
No, but
Okay, so we're drinking the.
I think we're done.
We're drinking the Oktoberfest, the Goose Island Oktoberfest.
We actually have a great idea for
I'm
a
dry.
show
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
I'm dry. So can you guys on the next show talk about the mental game and its effects on bowling? I think we've
Yeah.
talked about it on the Rise and Grinds before, but I think wouldn't be bad.
This is something to definitely work into because we talk a
Yeah.
bunch of the tech and bowling balls and whatever else this week, but the mental side is that O'Keefe scares me. She should.
That's what she's there
That's
for.
the thing. That's the. So I started watching this show on Disney Plus called Big Shot. It's got John Stamos in it.
John Stamos.
that the
John
basketball one?
Stamos. Yeah, it's the basketball one. It's really good. It's so
With
much
Uncle
better
Jesse?
than
I
that
just see Full House.
that Mighty Ducks
I
crap. The Mighty Ducks Game Changers thing is awful. It's paint by numbers.
Good housekeeping.
Basketball
John
show
Stamos.
with Uncle
Stepbrothers.
Jesse.
Sorry.
Yeah, basketball with Uncle Jesse. But no, he gets kicked out of the NCAA where he was basically Bill Sell for Roy Williams or whatever else, and he gets mad and he throws a chair and it hits an official, and so he gets kicked out, and the only job he can get is at an all girls elite prep school in California or something.
Shame on him.
And so it's one of these things where he learns the value of being nicer and being more human, and the prissy preppy girls learn the value of working
Yeah.
hard, and it all works out, but they take the moments to kind of pause at the important parts
Right.
and whatever else, and I have no idea where I was going with this.
It's okay. I'm just here following along.
The Shannon O'Keefe thing, I think.
Oh yeah. That's where you're going. That's
There
It is.
was this last episode I watched was with this girls coach from another team that was a really good team, and she'd been doing it for 30 years, and she basically built girls high school
Yeah.
basketball up into something, and she got into their heads just all kinds of mental games and intimidation and
Yep.
whatever else. That's part of Shannon O'Keefe's thing, is she's intense, and that whether you like it or don't like it, it affects things.
Right.
Belmo.
Yep.
Belmo does all kinds of the water bottle crap, which may or
Take
may not,
that, you bum.
not even be a thing. But then
he's been
yeah.
he's been called out on it by multiple people.
Yeah,
though, so
but you do these small little things either to get into somebody's head, to irritate, just small little. It doesn't have to be anything specifically to like go at them, and like Pete Weber, it's like make the shot. You wanted it, you got it.
Yeah.
Whatever else, it's
who do you think
Or
you are,
Pete
Ryan?
Weber with the chamois. Remember that one?
yeah.
Get your towel off my ball.
Yeah, he's putting. I don't want his towel on my ball.
He's just
Actually,
trying to.
you know,
At that point, he's just trying to piss himself off. Is all it's trying to be.
My favorite
That's the
Pete
other
Weber
thing.
moment is when he took his glasses off and screamed at the lady, "Do not flash the camera in my approach.
Yeah.
Do not flash the camera in my approach.
Yeah.
Don't do it."
Yeah.
I seen you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And then the lady, I think it was the lady, that, like, instead of just like saying quiet, she's like, "There's no flash," and he's like, "I can hear it."
Yeah. You can hear the click. That's one of those things like Pete Weber.
Or Randy
needs-
Peterson yelling at the guy that's
Yeah,
on the upper deck.
In the upper deck.
The
all
upper
the way
deck.
over there.
Yeah, nice class, pal. I
Good
see
job.
you.
I see you. I see you.
And he's pointing behind him. It makes it
Yeah.
even better. It's like, bro.
It's like, they're on the upper deck in this stadium.
Bro.
Wait a minute. Yep, you right there.
Yeah, that-
I need binoculars to see you, but you're up there.
Can you believe that guy? He says.
Yeah, but no.
Shannon O'Keefe, for a couple years there, she had that Belmo factor where, like, she made you feel like if you missed once, you were
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
For a couple years there, Shannon O'Keefe,
Oh,
man,
boys,
if you
I
didn't
think I
shoot
have to do
240, 250, you were losing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
You can ramble
That's
for a
what
minute.
that's what puckers up your butt cheeks or whatever else. But that's the thing is that nobody else with their drills and their practice regimens and their Instagram and whatever else. You're not gonna threaten somebody, especially if they know that you can't turn it up or you can't flip that switch or whatever else like Shannon O'Keefe can, because when you watch Shannon O'Keefe's Instagram versus Shannon O'Keefe on the show,
Two different people.
two different, because she's always focused and working on drills and patience and calmness and whatever else. She's not intense on Instagram like she is on the shows, but when it's time to win and they're bowling for the PWBA World Championship or whatever else at 5 Eastern today.
They're in Reno, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be a totally different Shannon than you see on Instagram. Whereas Verity, Daria, I like them all. I'm a huge fan of Verity. And Julia
As am
Bond's,
I.
yeah,
as am
Julia
I.
Bond's one of my new favorites. AJ Chapman, love AJ Chapman. He just throws it so good. And yeah, once again.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those things where they try to stay patient, they try to stay calm and whatever else. And somebody like Pete Weber, he needs to be pissed off. Until he gets pissed off, when he gets mad, that's when Pete comes to play.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think he just makes stuff up. Like they were talking about the infamous "Who do you think you are? I am" thing.
Oh yeah.
Nobody
I read
did
that article.
Nobody did anything. He just kind of picked somebody out of the audience, fired himself up, and then he won.
There was people that were sitting in the audience that have come out and said that there was no one saying or doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole show, the announcers are like, "Yeah, we don't see what's happening over there," or not.
Yeah.
You know, and then sometimes that's all it takes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He has that Michael Jordan factor where I'm just going to get pissed off for any reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then people like Pete Weber, they're like borderline psychopaths because they believe the lie that they're telling themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pete Weber's out there saying, someone's in the crowd messing with me, and it's happening. Whether anyone sees it or not, it's happening.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm looking at the dog.
Piggy, you're so weird.
She wants the mat, but she keeps eating hers.
One of our dogs is over here. We have oversized crates for him to stay in during the day, and we get him memory foam bath mats to lay on in there, and so they're super comfortable mats. Well, one of our dogs keeps chewing hers up, so we put a bath mat in there. She eats it, and then we take it away.
Periodic. She won't
Yeah.
do it for months, and all of a sudden she'll do it.
But now we've got one, our white dog, Storm, he doesn't really care about it. He'll lay on whatever. He doesn't really care. He's floofy enough. But we took his mat out of his crate, and now the one that eats the bath mats up is just laying on it. It's in the middle of the room by itself, and she found the bath mat, and she's laying on the bath mat now. I don't know. Dogs are weird. Especially that one.
The Weber's an act. Back to the PBA personality things to give yours. PBA.
Yeah,
Pete
Pete,
he's
Pete
a great
is
dude.
insanely nice.
Pete
I
is
went
a
to
good
Bull
dude,
Expo in 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah,
and
Pete is a good
they
dude.
normally have a lot of the pros out there doing whatever. This was in Vegas at South Point they have the trade show or the whatever else, the ball demos in the center upstairs.
Yep.
And yeah, Pete was just hanging out. He didn't really get out there and throw anything, but if somebody came down and came up and wanted to beat him, he was just hanging out at one of the tables.
Yeah.
And he'd sit down, he'd tell stories, whatever else. He's the nicest guy you ever meet off the camera. But as soon as you're bowling him, then all of a sudden it's war. There's a vendetta. There's something else. And Shannon O'Keefe.
Even in qualifying, he's like that though. He just turns on a switch that's just intensity.
Yeah.
People think that it's an act for TV. No, that's Pete. That's his intensity level when he's on TV, when he's trying to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they encourage them to have personalities on TV when they're for ratings and whatnot. Yes, they do. But that guy, that's just how he is when he's in competitive mode. I mean, it really is. I mean, a poor guy tried so hard to beat Walter Ray so much on TV. I don't think he ever did finally knock him off on TV, did he?
So let me ask you guys a question. Who do you think is the closest to Pete Weber now? Like with that kind of fiery attitude? Because even a guy like Belmo, who's arguably the best bowler in the world, he doesn't get fired up like that.
With the fiery attitude?
He plays mind games. Simo is my new Pete Weber.
I mean, Simo is so good.
If we're just going off of like pure attitudes on TV and it gets fiery, Simo, would be one. Maybe Rash.
Yeah.
Rash because he's the bad boy and Pete was the bad boy at one point.
Rash has kind of calmed down, but Rash has found his Bruce Banner, I'm always angry type thing. Yeah. Rash is dangerous.
Yeah.
Now,
what about AJ Johnson? He's fiery.
That's what Angel said.
He's fiery, but I think he's still a little too raw now.
He's a firecracker.
My favorite is when he says, "Oh, I'm back, baby," and Barnes says, "You're back. I'm still here."
Yeah.
Yeah, I never left or something. Yeah.
Oh my God, I actually made this funny video, or I never posted it because I just wasn't going to happen. Because AJ Johnson's really cool. He's subbed out in Lawrence here a couple times because The coach the coach of Ottawa here that just built the program from nothing, and 2 or 3 years ago, and now he's got some. He almost got Jillian Martin. I don't think it was any real consideration, but
She's got an offer.
She
She's
actually
going.
came out to visit.
yeah, he's really good friends with the family, and so she's came out and visited a couple times. She bowled league, and they've had a couple challenge matches. Well, he knows AJ Johnson really well too, and so AJ has subbed for him and on his team in league in Lawrence several times when he's just here. And AJ Johnson is super cool, super cool.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
But yeah, he's got, when he starts bowling, he fires up. But I think he gets a little too. It's one of those things like you see, like you watch these collegiate matches or whatever else, and they get the high fives and they're smacking hands and whatever else, and they get 4 in a row, and then the next guy just throws it out the window, straight out the window, because they all got too excited and too pumped up. I think that's still AJ too.
You got to find a way to keep it level.
Yeah, I
Don't
think.
get too high, don't get too low.
That's like one of my favorite parts about the PBA and stuff is the competitive level when they're out, like on bowling. Just take match play for example.
Mm-hmm.
Even qualifying for that, guy goes up and stuffs one on you and throws a good shot. I'm not giving you the hey nice shot.
Yeah.
Sit down so I can get up here and
It's
just
like,
stuff the
yeah.
next one on you too.
It's like,
So
yeah, go
I love
sit
it. I love the competition, the intensity. It's great.
So yeah, and then I think that's why some people have trouble managing their intensity levels. Like Shannon O'Keefe can just push it up to 10. Some other, like, I don't think Verity, Daria, or whatever else, they wouldn't be good if they did that. I think that they need to pump it up a little bit, but you're not going to see Verity slapping stuff off and getting intense, because that's going to throw her out of her element. Her element is calm, kind of the zen,
That's heavy.
kind of just stay within it. And I think Verity's gotten to the point where she's got the balance worked out, but she's more of a Walter Ray, Don Barrett, just very calm, patient, whatever else. And if she does get worked up, then I think it's going to be a negative for her rather than a positive.
Even the ladies the other day when we were watching match play, or I had it on for a minute. They were even still giving each other high fives, or like a nice shot. And I'm like, what are you doing? Step on their throats. Don't tell your opponent nice shot. You know what I mean, Lou?
Hey,
we got this.
I'm the nicest guy in the world, and I'm super laid back.
Yeah.
But if I'm I'm too competitive to
Yeah.
give people high fives while we're bowling.
Sharpie will be
Exactly.
Okay, it's Sharpie. It'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Spencer
Just if I'm bowling a local sweeper and we're in match play for like step light or something,
just
yeah, I'll do
signs
it like that. You know what I
Signs
mean?
it Frankie.
But something other than that, yeah, I'm here to step on your throat, and I'm not trying to give you fives. Like I'm not going to encourage you to make better shots.
Chris Prather.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we get off here, which we probably ought to wrap it up. I don't know what time you have to go to work, but
I've got to get busy too, and I need a selfie with Lou
we
here.
gotta get going.
The only selfie I can get is virtual.
So we've got a Zen half ball that we got, and we're going to be doing a in the middle of December. We're going to be doing our annual kind of Positive Tales dog rescue fundraiser thing at Swiss Trios. At Swiss Trios this year, which is a very interesting format. There's a bunch of crazy good bowlers there, and so we got actually on the front here.
You're right. We've
got Chris Prather. Yeah, we were there. We've got Chris Prather, which is the top signature. Frank Lavoie signs it Frankie. He just signs it Frankie.
They're the same signatures on both.
Yeah. In the back, we've got Anthony Lavery Spar and Spencer Robarge.
Oh, you got that
On
one.
the back here, if you can actually see it.
Well, and I'm gonna take them to Thanksgiving too and see if I get more.
Yeah, if we can get Brad and
Brad's not on there.
no,
He wasn't
he
at
wasn't
Swiss.
at he
This is
wasn't
only
Swiss.
taken to Swiss.
Oh.
And then
Brad will be there.
Frankie
He's
Spencer.
bowling.
So we've got the Electrify hybrid half ball.
Yes, and it smells.
Yeah. So it's actually scented. So they take a ball and they just chop it in half.
Proof. It does smell. Carry on.
That's
But anyway,
pretty cool.
yeah, so we got some signatures on there that we're going to be kind of auctioning off. Or we're going to be giving them as prizes.
I'll be there.
Yep.
Yes.
I will be there.
All right. Well, you're not going to sign one of these.
Well, no, it's a storm ball.
Motive guy.
Well, you don't want me
Like,
to sign
no,
a
we don't want you.
You don't want me to sign a storm ball anyways.
Go away, Packy. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's me.
Hey,
Now my
so-
feelings are hurt.
What because I'm curious too. Like, one of my favorite parts about this show, the breakdown pairs, when you guys talk about your arsenals.
Oh yeah.
So what's in your guys' bag?
Yeah. So and you were going to talk about. You mentioned something about what you're going to throw next week.
I was gonna say, why don't you tell us what's in your bag first?
So
yeah.
my bag for league or my bag for this regional?
Well, and I think either one, because I think it's going to be most interesting for you, because I've always said that staffers hype everything.
Yeah.
But what you can tell what's good by what the staffers are bowling with
All the
and
time.
So what they have in their bag. But now that you've got access to every company, what are you throwing?
So for league, I've been throwing a lot of like raw hammer black on the fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird because the lanes for my league on Thursday nights have been very, very weird. Like, I'm basically looking for like almost a urethane shape on the fresh, and then once they open up, just get into a trend too. So it's literally been IQ Tour solid or raw hammer black on the fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And then transitioning into a trend, like basically break down the lanes as fast as I can to get into a trend two. And then I'm like grinding out 2-0 every game one, and then shooting 680, 700 the back three because I'm getting into the trend two as fast as possible. But my arsenal for next week, so we're bowling on 44 feet, the Billy Hardwick pattern.
So this is the regional, right?
This is the doubles regional.
Okay.
I mean, I live 5 minutes from South Point, so I'm bringing 12 balls with me to the practice session just because it's so close. But so the balls I'm bringing the Reality, the RSTX1, the Pride, and the Obsession Tour as my like asymmetrical balls.
Yeah.
And then I'm bringing the Phase 2, the Zen Master, which I'm kind of on the fence about with the Zen Master. I'm bringing the IQ Tour Solid, the Zen, the Trend 2, the Raw Black, which might get swapped out for the IQ Emerald, because I fear that I don't have a like weaker pearl to like really get in once it really starts to fry.
Yeah.
So the Raw Solid might get swapped out, or actually it probably will get swapped out for the IQ Emerald, and then the Fast Pitch and the Pitch Black. So that 12 ball arsenal is leaning pretty heavily towards the SPI brand. But it's just what's been rolling good for me and what I have the most confidence in.
Yeah.
I like the Obsession Tour Pearl a lot. It's probably my favorite ball right now.
Mm-hmm.
But throwing it on that pattern, it doesn't look good on the fresh. And then once the lanes have been transitioning, it doesn't look good there either. So even though a ball like that's been a ball that I love on the house shot, it's not going to make the bag.
Yeah.
And then balls like the Reality and the RSTX1, I literally can throw nowhere. So because we're bowling on a 44-foot pattern,
you might be able to actually use them for a change.
Yeah, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty much what's in the bag right now. And then, like I said, in the league, it's anything that I can throw from straight that I can break down the lanes to get into a trend 2 as fast as possible.
Good stuff. What about you?
I mean, I like that ball quite a bit.
Yeah, I need to.
What was in your bag this week?
Let me see. I've been kind of switching it up, trying to work through some things, and the Hustle Camo is stupid.
A nut.
Yeah, the Hustle Camo is it's a shiny. It's hard to describe because it's not exactly a shiny IQ Tour. It rolls a whole lot more like a Phase 2, kind of that archy type of thing, but weaker and shiny.
Because you're only bowling 2 nights. You're only bowling Royal Crest now.
Yeah. I'm only bowling 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
Royal Crest, same house. But I've gotten the RSTX2 out. It's a little too quick. I do like it, but there's a lot of stuff that's too quick for the left side of the lane, period. I got the Reality out here recently.
You ready for me to throw it up there yet?
But the ProMotion goes everywhere. And the spare ball now, I've got one of those off-white mixes that looks sharp. That goes everywhere.
So
those are 2 automatics in the bag. I would say that another automatic in the bag has to be the Hustle Camo now. So that bag, the Hustle Camo, ProMotion, and Mix Off-White go everywhere. I mean, that's just a lot for the first 3 balls. And then the other 3 balls,
Swag bag.
I took the Reality, my Phase G, which is an overseas hybrid phase. So it's kind of like the Phase 3, but not quite, because it's the hybrid version of the original phase cover, not what the Phase 3's got on it. I really like that ball, so I've been taking that around. And then what's the other ball that I've got in there that I don't really care about? Oh, the UFO Alert. The UFO Alert hangs around because it's good, but it's not like the first ball out of the bag. It's one of those kind of bailout balls. That's like if nothing else is working, the alert's going to look good, and it's one of those I should use more than I actually use it. Because I like to start with, it's like, well, okay, well, I have this ball. I know what this ball does. I know that the promotion is going to be good. I know that the hustle camo is going to be good. I know that the alert's going to be good. I want to throw other stuff. But then you throw the other stuff, and it's like, well, it's a little too this or a little too that or whatever else, and you end up throwing the other stuff, and it's like, I just should have started just should have thrown the entire thing. So that bag's probably going to get mixed up again, but I think the Reality is going to stay in there. I want it to lane shine up a little bit because I threw it bad Friday night, but I still shot 190 the first, throwing it terrible because I went 190, 160, 140, and the Reality looked really good. I just threw it so much worse than was, humanly possible or acceptable.
I still forgive you.
But yeah, because Friday we don't even care. Friday we don't care.
I
It's
still forgive you.
$14
It's
a
okay.
week, $250 a week goes into the prize fund. We're not there. It's a fun drinking league. So
That it is.
So-
But we have a good time.
Has any ball taken the spot of that promotion?
no, the
Still
promotion
the
like
goat.
the Trend 2, and you're gonna find out. The promotion is as much of a unicorn as the Trend 2 is. There's literally nothing else like it. The promotion.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to drill that promotion because like I said, I drilled one that was used and I threw it for like a game and a half and it cracked.
So imagine the Purple Tank meets the Jackal Ghost, and that's a promotion.
Okay. So it's that urethane-y kind of shape, which is kind of what I saw.
Tank.
It's halfway in
Meets the
between
Jackal
because
Ghost.
it's urethane-y, it's early and it's slow, but it's got that Jackal Ghost shape to it, but it's not quite as sharp.
Yeah, like I said, if I get the promotion here in time, it'll definitely be in the bag over the Zen Master because that's the one that I'm kind of on the
Yeah.
fence about.
It's shipping out tomorrow, so Angel will get it out tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be there like Thursday.
That should be fine. The practice session's on Friday.
Okay, so hopefully it'll get there in time. But yeah, the promotion is a definite unicorn. There's nothing else that we make.
I meant to take it Friday and
It's IQ tourish, but it's not that long and that sharp. It's phase 2-ish, but it's not that archy. It's a little rounder.
Pay for it.
It's probably, if we're going to compare it to anything, it's very close to a phase 2 idle type of vibe, but it's more urethane-y because you can take urethane from pair to pair to pair to pair. Urethane reads the lane more than it reads the pattern. Urethane's going to do what urethane's going to do, and that's kind of how the
Yep.
promotion acts. The idle, Zen Master, phase 2, whatever, I mean, if the conditions change, they're going to kind of change with it, but the promotion doesn't really, it's not near as sensitive to lane differences, lane condition differences as those balls are. But yeah, it's as much of a unicorn as the Trend 2 is. So I think that as much as people want to hate on Belmo or whatever, the promotion is super unique. The Trend 2 is super unique, and if you don't like them, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
like them. I'm just kidding.
I mean, seriously,
I just had to mess with
the
them.
the Belmo collabs have been two of the most unique balls that Storm's ever put out.
Probably. I just had to mess with him to see. I wanted to see what his reaction would be there.
One
He's
thing,
just
one
going.
thing that I've been saying, one thing that I've been saying a lot in my videos recently is your opinion on, for example, Brunswick or Hammer or
Mhm.
Radical, Motive, Storm, whatever. Your opinion can be what it is, but if the ball motion is good, you can't deny that. Like,
Yeah.
if you see a ball from a brand that you don't like,
Yeah.
and it's rolling great and it's going through the pins, and you still say you don't like that ball, and I mean it's just silly.
Your bias
You know
is
what I mean?
showing.
Yeah, like us as bowlers, our job is to strike.
Yeah.
So you got to find the tool that's going to allow you to strike. Period.
Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately what it is. Like, there's some. I always said, if I had to be if I lost my contract with Storm and I had to be an Ebonite staffer, I'd quit first, and I still stand by that. But
You mean you wouldn't throw any of the other brands at all? Ever?
God, no, if I had to be back before the Brunswick thing.
Oh, like if you
I
had to
be,
just only throw Ebonite?
if I had to be an Ebonite staffer, I would quit.
And only throw Ebonite?
Their stuff depresses me. But Hammer stuff is really good. Brunswick makes some decent
The Omni
stuff.
didn't look bad though. Like
Yeah, well,
Omni and-
there's
One
some.
every 10 years, you're really going to give them that.
Well, the Game Breakers. The Game Breakers. I'm sorry, the
Getting
Game
some kind of
Breakers. And I think the Vortex, the V2.
Yeah.
The V2 solid, V2 clean. Ebonite's made some crazy good bangers, but their stuff depresses me.
I don't need to really talk about my bag change. It's the same stuff. The only thing I added in this week was an Iron Forge. So
Iron Forge,
Yeah.
Pride, Venom Shock, Jackal Ghost, Recoil.
I literally
He is throwing this though. He has finally.
I'm
I
throwing
went
this
back and watched,
in two different centers. By the
Mr.
way.
Pin Down.
Pin down
I,
flexion.
I went back and watched the footage from Nationals this year,
Yeah.
and Game 3 of Team, I threw a VIP Affliction that looked really, really good. I forgot that I even threw it.
Yeah.
The affliction is money, dude. It's money.
He's been throwing it a lot the last couple weeks.
Like
I wouldn't go that far as calling it money.
No, it's
like
money.
Change.
it's
like
money.
change.
Drill one pin
Yeah,
down and you'll
it's
thank me later.
change.
Nah, maybe not.
It's
for this
definitely
year.
not cash.
You might like it.
Yeah.
I don't,
It's
Square
not,
'em
it's
up.
not cash money.
Square 'em
it's
up.
just-
That ball is
yeah.
silly.
I don't know.
I want to drill one. I have a blank one, and I want to put it. I want to see what it looks like. Just pin up. But the pin down one is silly. Like it's everything you think about that ball. Just blow it out the window when it's pinned down for me because I'm literally further right than anybody all night long.
I would
still,
just save
like-
it, and when the one that's pinned down
Yeah.
guys re-drill it.
Everybody's moving left, and I'm still moving right with that thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I typically don't drill stuff pinned down anymore.
It's silly.
Especially that we can't do giant weight holes anymore.
Yeah.
But I drilled a pin down Honey Badger Intensity that was really freaky good.
Yeah.
See, he likes pin down.
Again, that one's kind of weird too. That one's kind of different.
Luke looks at me and he says, "I think we should go pin down on this one." I look at him like, "You're nuts.
Yeah.
You're nuts."
Yeah, it's
Like-
early and smooth. Let's go pin down.
I'll
That's
talk about
right.
it in a second. Well, because we
Not today.
pin down. So like pin down stuff for me, I always hated it. I hated it. And then I think it finally started to click in Tulsa.
In Tulsa, when he shot 770,
In
whatever.
singles, 770 in singles.
Yeah, 770 in singles.
On a pattern
With a-
that was
with
not
a-
easy.
No, with a pin down ghost
Yeah,
on a pattern that they laid down backwards.
yeah,
Oh, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
yeah. So I go 770 in singles, and I go from that to a recoil. When I pulled out the recoil, it was just money again.
Yeah.
And then
So the pro motion, is that one that we should drill pin down?
no.
No, that's one
No,
of those-
no.
You don't want to drill it pinned down. You don't want it because the spec is very, very early and smooth to begin with. So you don't want to really make it. I've got a 5-inch pin on mine, and the second one, all three of them that I've drilled, my righty one and then the two that I drilled lefty have all been the same layout. They've been 5-inch pins because if you drill them any earlier and smoother, it's already kind of a urethane reaction, but it's got a stronger core in it. So like a pitch black that you want to drill strong because it doesn't have a strong core in it, the ProMotion you want to go probably both of mine are 5 inches pin up.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go 5 inches.
yeah,
with
just
a shallower valley.
5-inch.
I definitely wouldn't go down.
Yeah. 5-inch pin up, and a shallow valley because I went 5x5 by 2.5, which is something like 5 by 35 ish. Because any more than that, it's such an early and smooth cover that if you make the core roll sooner, you're going to get early and puke.
Yeah.
You want you want to have a shape drilling on it. So pin up definitely. 5-inch pin is kind of right there. 4 3/4 would probably work too. I haven't drilled one pin in the ring. I drilled one 4 3/4 by 3.5 for Trevor, I think, or 4 3/4 by 50.
Yep.
55, whatever. That looks pretty good too. But you definitely want to kind of get some shape out of it because it's so early and so smooth that if you don't get some shape out of it, it's just going to be really early and pukey, and then it's going to be condition specific and whatever else. So I definitely would. You can go like 4.5 to 5 inches on the pin, and then I'd go like
I've got to get a
no
second
more
list
than
before we leave.
50 on the valve angle. So you're going to have to go from like 25 to 50, somewhere in that zone. 4.5 to 5 on the pin, or 25 to 50 on the valve, and that's probably where it's going to like it the best.
All right.
Come on, get in here. I got to get this before I forget about it.
No, Lord.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had to get it. There we
Yeah,
go.
with me and my.
Now I've got that covered, so we can talk about whatever.
Yeah, so have to.
We do need to hit on. I think we should start talking to you a little bit before we go about what we were talking about with the giveaway, the
Yeah.
big end of the year, because it's starting to chat time. So
Carolyn Doran Ballard.
The GOAT.
Yep. CDB.
you'll Team Turbo, by the way.
Yep. Team Turbo. Yep.
That's right.
Put her
Look,
good staff.
Turbo.
Sorry.
She did a Driven to Bowl
Oh, other side. There we go.
seminar clinic, something or other up in
should know
up in
it's the
Shawnee
right
at
chest. I
Park
should-
Lanes, which is kind of in Kansas City. And so my buddy Chance Rivera, Angel, talked to Chance and got him to have Carolyn sign a chamois for us to give away. Carolyn also sent several things for us last year. She sent a couple jerseys, some autographed cards, and some other things for the giveaway last year. So
Carolyn should have used a silver Sharpie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Did you
But-
tell them a little bit about what we're doing for the end of the year?
yeah, the Positive Tales is a dog rescue in Kansas City, and we have gotten all 3 of the dogs that we own right now have come. One of them came from Paws Crossed, which that lady, Aspen came from. And then we've had 7 Fosters now. Storm was number 7, but we kept him because we kind of intended on
He was
keeping
number
him.
6.
I thought Simba was 6. No, okay, so he's 6. Number 6, but we kept him. And so we tried to foster another dog. We had foster dog number 7 for exactly 1 day. Loki did not get along with the rest of the dogs. But so we tried to do fundraisers for the dog rescue. We're pretty heavily involved with that. And, all 3 of our dogs right now are rescues. Missile they found in a storm drain, and it took them 4 months to rehab her. Aspen is still kind of no, she's the pig dog, so she looks like a potbelly pig, does she not? Just laying there. It's hilarious, but
Oh my God.
But
If
yeah.
you ever want to cry laughing, look up Chris P. Bacon on YouTube.
yeah. Crispy bacon, yeah.
It's this news anchor.
Oh, crispy
Yeah.
bacon? Yes.
There's a news anchor
Yes.
talking about a potbelly pig that they named Christopher P. Bacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crispy Bacon.
Yes, I saw that. That's good stuff.
I missed it.
I have plenty of stuff on here I want to share, but I just can't do it. It's just
Yeah,
it's funny stuff.
Yeah.
I still didn't show you the one I want to show you. All right,
But
yeah, carry on about the
anyway,
positive.
So
tone.
yeah, we do. For the last couple of years, we've had live streams, and so we'll give away bowling balls. We got some Cool Wick jerseys to give away because we need to get going a little bit more on that. We have some stuff. Somebody donated. We had a couple balls donated to
Does
give
Lou
away.
want to jump in on that?
We've
Yeah.
had the half balls.
There you go.
We've had the half balls to give away. Yeah, if Lou has
I
any
have,
more Cool Wick giveaway budget left.
I have some giveaway credit left.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we both got some giveaway credit left. Cool Wick's really cool.
Yes.
With that, by the way, I mean, there's
Yeah.
Cool
Pun
Wick
intended.
and Bowler Smart have been great so far, and it's kind of a rarity in the, there's not a whole lot of money floating around in the bowling industry, and Cool Wick and Bowler Smart kind of treat it a little differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I
So-
don't speak on the Bowlers Mart side, but the Kulik side, they treat us fantastic. Like,
Yeah, well, and they
Yeah.
give us, we have
Yeah.
a pretty substantial giveaway budget because they want to
Yeah.
get stuff in the hands of, because they know they have a good product to begin with.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
So they want to get the products in the hands of the bowlers, and they're
well, and they
they're-
treat us well.
They're
Like,
giving us the tools to work with.
everybody
too.
that's part of
Like-
the team Coolwick, the Be Cool crew. Sorry
Yeah.
for those that are out there.
Yeah,
It's
we
they
need
treat
to
us well.
We need
Like,
to get Jim
Yeah.
on one of these days.
Oh,
we
no,
do
it's
need to get Jim on here.
fantastic.
Jim Nayman
yeah,
needs to come on here. What do you think?
Yeah, Luke can tell you the same thing. If you need Jim for anything, you can.
Jim
text-
is the man.
Yeah,
He is the man. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
every time I text him, I'm like, dude, sorry for bothering you.
he's like, no, I don't care. Yeah, it's
He's like, no,
yeah.
you're not bothering me. It's my job.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, no, Jim.
yeah,
Jim's the man.
yeah, he's great.
Mm.
He's good.
And
Good people.
I don't know if you guys have had a chance to meet Cliff. And he's the man too.
yeah.
Cliff
Cliff,
Barnes.
yeah, Cliff talks to me quite a bit.
Cliff.
I mean,
I have
he's-
not met Cliff.
Bowler Smart.
Oh,
probably
okay.
why
I was
you
gonna
haven't
say,
met Cliff.
wait a minute. I have not met Cliff.
Yeah,
What are
Cliff
you talking
Barnes with Bowler Smart. I talked to him and Jim quite a bit. I haven't talked to Jim for probably a couple weeks, but we haven't really had anything to. But he's given me some suggestions. He's asked for some things. Cliff has been really on top of it, promoting both me and Lou in their email
the email
blasts
blast,
and
yeah,
on the website, and he really likes what we do, and so he's on top of things. He's one of those. Yeah, he owns Bowler Smart, but he's heavily involved with it. He's not one of those that just kind of, well, I own it, and then whatever else.
Yep.
Him and Jim are super involved in stuff, and
Yeah, there's,
so yeah, it's.
I'm not on the
it's-
Bowler Smart side, but I can speak for both of these guys when we say the Coolwick guys take care of us great.
Yeah, cool.
And then one thing I will touch on is the links in the description for the Bowler Smart stuff for Luke and I.
Mhm.
That's turning into a game changer.
That helps us out quite a bit. From both sides of it, we do get a small commission. It's not very much, but we get a little commission
Yeah.
from that. But it's also it gives us numbers that we can use for the
Yeah.
other companies, for other affiliations that basically keep us in business doing stuff, because there's not a whole lot of YouTube money. There's really not. Aside from October, aside from Q4. Q4 is okay from the YouTube side of things.
Well, we're literally having a show every week too.
Yeah.
That helps. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of YouTube money in general. There's a whole lot more effort and expense that goes into it, because you're paying for bowling balls. You're paying for I've got a freaking drill press in my garage. We've got all kinds of expenses that go into that, and then we've got expenses that go for actual bowling, and then computers and editing
Yeah, I know the
softwares
cost of computer.
and cameras and whatever else. I mean, even if you use an iPhone as your camera, that's still $1,000 phone. It's not like
look,
it's.
I got two of them.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a
Exactly.
Maybe we should do a breakdown pair one week of how to drill a bowling ball.
We can do all kinds of stuff. But no,
Yeah,
I mean it's
But we have these
it's
when we put the
really
windscreens on it.
it's really these companies that keep us afloat.
Yep.
So
And then, for me especially, being a free agent, like now I have concrete proof or concrete evidence, concrete numbers
yeah.
about my channel does generate ball sales. So
Yeah.
it's not just a guessing game.
Good stuff, man. Awesome.
Yeah, because they can't.
Good.
I've been told several times, like, well, I mean, exposure, social media, likes, clicks, views, whatever else, that's all cool and everything, but we don't exactly know what that means. Is it actually driving sales, or is it just more entertainment? I know that I have the same 2,000 or 3,000 people that watch everything regardless. But then it's the rest of them that it's like, okay, well, I've got 15,000 subs. If a video only gets 6,000 views, then obviously it's just kind of the regular viewers watching it. Is it really that big of a thing? Is it doing anything? But with the Bowler Smart thing, it's more important for us to say, hey, yeah, people are actually watching these and they're actually buying stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
that's-
we're worth supporting or whatever else. So
That's a big thing. I posted my Trend 2 ball review 5 days ago, whatever that was. I mean,
Mhm.
I've sold 5 Trend 2s.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So those are actual numbers. It's not just a guessing game.
Well,
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
just from Bowler's Mark too. That's not even counting the, yeah, and that's something that you can even put to them. It's like, okay, so 5 people bought Trend Twos. That's worth 1 ball. I mean, if they send you 1 ball and you sell only, if that's all you sell is 5, that's still worth it from their
Yeah,
point
but
of view.
see,
But how many are you selling countrywide from people that are
Yeah.
pre-ordering them from pro
Yeah,
shops?
exactly.
And,
yeah,
Exactly.
you know, what are you actually? That's such a small number in
some
comparison.
people won't go through these Bowler's Mart links because they support their local pro shops.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're selling that much already, just five balls in a couple days already, what are they doing? Like countrywide, worldwide, whatever else. I mean, I've got people in the Philippines, Japan, China, Korea, whatever else. And if you go into YouTube and look on your metrics, I bet
Yeah.
you'll find a percent, 2%, 3% watching from, again, all these different countries all over the world.
I got
Australia.
a decent following in Germany too.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, if you're selling this much in this short amount of time, just through your links on the YouTube channel, how much more are you selling in pro shops? How much are people pre-ordering? You know,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
else. I got a buddy that used to live here locally, and he moved to New England. He lives up around the Boston area, and he's like, dude, you're freaking huge out here. People are talking about you all the time. They're talking about,
I don't know why.
yeah, you'd be a YouTube guy like so and so, and you walk into pro shops, and they have my videos playing kind of on, like they had the Motive, like in the Motive booth at Nationals, where they have the Mike Magallon videos playing kind of on all the TVs. There's some guys that just have a certain playlist. They'll just turn my ball review playlist on in the pro shop and let it run on the TV up there.
Nice.
So I mean, that's just one of those things that more people are watching, more people are paying attention than you realize, and it's a bigger factor than you realize. But for the companies, it's something extra for us.
Yeah.
And not to keep rambling about this and
Yeah, because
You know,
it's supposed to be positive tails.
beating this horse into the ground.
Yeah, you need
But-
to talk a little bit about positive tells here because we're
Yeah,
getting
I
that
mean,
time of year.
if you
We can show off some of the giveaway stuff here real quick.
yeah, you like the reviews and videos and stuff, having the numbers from Bowler's Mark, Coolwick, whatever else, that helps us out quite a bit to tell the companies, hey, it's like, yeah, we're worth continuing to support, and that kind of thing, because the YouTube thing is not easy, cheap, and or quick. So
Yeah.
so anyway.
You guys
Yeah,
are all
po-
over here talking, and here I am with 170 subs. You guys suck.
Yeah. Talking about I got 2,000 views on something the other day. I'm like, God, I'd kill myself.
2.4 thousand views with 170
Yeah, I know.
with 170 subs. I'm like,
yeah,
bet, I'll take it.
That's something that's really
I'll take
cool
it.
about YouTube is you get into, it's like, God, when I hit my first 500 view video, I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. And now if I get a 500 view video and like, if I don't get more than 500 views in like 2 or 3 hours, I'm like, okay, well, I shouldn't have even this.
That video bomb.
Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
that-
Follow
that
me on
video bombed.
YouTube,
Yeah, I
please.
shouldn't have even-
Subscribe to my channel.
God, that was a waste of time.
At Jonathan Haas. So
CDB, Carolyn Dorn Ballard. We got some Motive stuff too.
it's just a swag bag. It's just got some goodies in there. I won't pull everything out.
Yeah, Jonathan gave us some stuff.
It's just got a little bit of everything with keychains, pins, screwdriver, tape. So I think are you doing these together, or is this going to be a separate
I'm
thing?
gonna
Or
loop everything together and see what all I have, and some things are gonna be grouped.
yep.
Some things are gonna be put with your Coolwick jersey, so they might get
Yeah.
a swag bag
Okay.
with a quick ship Motive jersey or something.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so Lou, I might try to get you on. I might try to get you on that stream too to talk about. We're gonna be.
That'd be
we're gonna have-
sweet.
we're gonna have James on here. He's gonna be here with me. We're gonna talk about our kind of balls of the year from
That was where I wanted you to go.
from Motive,
Yeah.
from Storm. James isn't on staff with anybody anymore.
He was recently,
He
though.
throws primarily.
He's in the same situation as him. Yeah.
He throws primarily Storm and Rotogrip right now. He does have like an Intel SE and.
No, he throws a lot of motive too.
Yeah, James is throwing a lot of Motive right now, but it makes sense because he's got a really high rev rate, and Motive
Yeah.
looks good for people with high rev rates.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I'm in. I'm down to chip in a jersey, down to chip in whatever.
Yeah.
I think you should hang out with us on the stream too.
So yeah, we'll get you
Yeah.
in. We'll have James in here for a little while, then we'll get you in here and talking about some stuff, especially since you have the all company. You can give us like a top 10 of the year period across
Yeah.
all the
Ooh,
brands.
prep that.
I can do Storm. He can do
Yeah.
Motive. James can
I'm
kind of
gonna
do.
have to start putting that together.
We can kind of talk
Yeah.
about. He can do Storm like top release, his favorite releases of the year. We'll talk about the balls of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can both do kind of go debate back and forth their thoughts on the top 10 for all the
Yeah,
brands.
because
And
James throws primarily Storm and Motive. He doesn't throw a whole lot of anything
And
else.
I
Like I
can-
said,
yeah. He's got a few Brunswick stuff.
he's got a few
Yeah.
Brunswick balls, but he hasn't thrown. I mean, he's got an Intel Pearl S or an Intel SE or whatever else.
And I
but
can just give you on the motive side. Yeah,
but
I think we'd have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Lou's thrown a little bit of everything, plus the big bowling stuff, and
Let's raise
So-
some money and let's have some fun.
Yeah,
How
we'll
about
get
that?
some-
Yeah, it'll be like top 10, top all time, just
Yep.
favorite
What-
balls of the
yeah,
year,
we
wrap
can-
up 2021,
yeah,
A year in
highlights,
review.
lowlights.
Yeah, year in
kinda-
review.
kinda
Yeah,
year in
absolutely.
review, so-
What's our date on that?
It's in there.
Don't give it away, Colin.
I want to say it's the third weekend.
In
It's
January?
whatever. We're
18th, 19th, 20th, something like
yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah, somewhere in the
It's
middle of
grand-
January,
it's the
right?
grand finale weekend, so I think it's the
that
18th
Saturday
or
after we bowl
19th.
at Lawrence.
It's probably the 9th. Yeah, it's 19th. I think because the grand finale, I think is the 18th. So I think it'll
January?
be like the 19th.
No,
No,
December.
Oh, December. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December
Why would I
19th,
say the January?
probably, I think, is what
Two
the
of you have phones.
parallax effect is terrible,
No, I
but
can't
it
do it.
looks really good for Kyle
I can't do
Miller.
it. Look what did you
When
do?
we bowled at we bowled with Kyle at the Summit Lanes tournament 2-3 months ago, and my parallax effect kind of like hooked at 30 feet and then gave up the rest of the way down the lane, and then he's thrown it at Summit. I'm like, that bowl never did that for me. So I mean,
Oh,
yeah, Kyle, it looks amazing for Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
But yeah, that's so. Any wrap up thoughts here from Mr.
Yeah,
Lou
thanks.
and James?
Yeah,
James and,
thanks,
Luke?
Lou, for hanging out with us for almost 3 hours here. I'm starving and I need to go.
Anytime.
break
I have
the
a
seal,
Halloween
but
party I've got to go prep for, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be a lady this
Yeah.
evening.
I gotta
I'm
go to work.
yeah, I'm actually going. I think I'm going to go as Sheldon.
I'll think of you. I'll think of you. Oh, what?
I'm coming as Sheldon
No, you're not.
because I
Sheldon
don't know if I can
Cooper.
get my Sheldon Cooper. I don't know if I can get my hair to do that.
I don't think
But
so.
I can do. I have one of those. I have a Superman T-shirt that I can wear over a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
The kid with the 2 shirts. And Sheldon always wears long pants.
Well, it's going to
but
be cool
cold,
enough. It's going to be cool
So
enough.
I'm going
for
to
it.
do that, and
Yeah.
I have I have the Soft Kitty.
We need to
plushie.
change the batteries in that.
We need to change we need to change the batteries in the plushie, but I have the cat that sings Soft Kitty.
Nice.
So
Little ball of fur.
Yeah. So I will have.
Oh my
I saw
God.
Trevor last night in the get up. I don't think I've laughed that hard in my life.
Yeah. Okay, so Lou, so anybody that knows the show Tattoo Nightmares with Dirk Vermin and Ruckus, he sounds just
Oh, you were
like
telling me
Ruckus.
Yes, he does.
Did
I
you
still
ever
haven't
look
seen
up
it.
Ruckus? You've got to look it up. Tattoo Nightmares, and you've got to look up Ruckus because you sound just like Ruckus.
So
It's hilarious.
I'm sure pictures will be shared, but here in a
Yeah.
few hours I'll have a wig,
Oh God,
a
yeah.
skirt,
Make
high heels,
sure-
and makeup on.
Yeah, make sure that you follow the Breakdown Pair Instagram page
You're
because
gonna want
I
to see
do,
it this
I
evening.
do.
stuff
I
is
am
gonna
gonna
be
go
all over
nuts.
it.
I may
So-
go live from your Instagram page.
It
That's
might
not
be
my
awesome,
Instagram page.
so.
It's our Instagram page.
Oh,
I know.
Haj, you got a new subscriber.
Where?
Kelly
Hey, how's it gonna do
Manaway.
some- Kelly, sweet, thank you.
Yeah.
Iron
He-
Forge video coming soon.
Yep, he does the more Casey Murphy type of videos which I always tell people.
My thumbnails are good.
I will always tell people when you watch videos, when you watch reviews, whatever, watch them with the sound off the first time.
Yeah.
Mute the sound, just watch what the ball does. And then if you want our input or whatever else, cool, but some
Post
of the video, like I really like, Casey Murphy makes very basic, simple videos. He puts a little slide in there that says, hey, this compares to this, like this, it does this, whatever else, but you just see ball reaction.
Yep.
So you focus in on what this ball is doing versus this ball and whatever else. So
Boom.
anyhow,
There it is in the chat. Breakdown Pair on Instagram. Please follow us. We might go live this evening.
it might be that interesting.
That's gonna be
So-
Do it.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything.
I might go live. Yep. And then there's my YouTube channel in the chat. Please follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube. It helps me out a ton because I'd like to do some more live stuff as well. So.
Yeah.
I was
And if
gonna
I
do
go-
Wonder Woman, but I literally could not find a T-shirt.
Oh yeah. If I go live on YouTube,
Did you get rid of
these
your
guys will be
jersey?
live on YouTube.
You need
possibly
your
even
jersey
this
and your
guy at
shirt.
some time.
No, it's Bullify.
So we will certainly do it.
Oh.
Please
Yeah,
give me-
Jonathan,
please,
your
please subscribe to my
thumbnails are
channel.
So much cooler than mine.
By the way,
Yeah.
Thumbnails.
His wife
Absolutely
does
so.
his editing, and does she do the thumbnails? Or
she does the thumbnails.
Yeah, Amanda.
Yeah, mine absolutely suck.
I've been phoning a few of mine in.
She does all my
I like
editing
most
and
of
my
mine, but this
thumbnails, and they're
last
not
one was pretty
they're
rough.
not bad, are they?
No,
They're
no.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Amanda
I'm
knows
gonna
what she's
have
doing.
to. I'm gonna have
so.
to start paying her to make thumbnails for me.
Yeah, there you She would probably do it.
She probably would. She's really good,
She's
actually.
really good at it.
I need 3 thumbnails a week. Tell me how much.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks everybody for hanging out for 3 entire hours here.
God, right?
Happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
a bunch, Lou, for hanging out. He woke up early today because it's like he had to got up at like 6 or 6:30 in Vegas because we started
got
at
up at
9.
6 in
It's
the
2
morning,
It's
yeah.
2 hours behind us. So
I
mean,
felt
it's,
like I
it's
was
almost
dead
noon
waking
here,
up
but
this
it's still
morning.
only 10 o'clock
Yeah.
in Vegas, and he's got to get to work.
9:48. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to go watch some football and make some money.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Before you watch football,
Mm.
watch my video that comes out in 12 minutes.
Oh, there you go. That's
Oh.
a perfect lead-in. So yeah, everybody that's
Trend
here.
versus Trend 2.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, so-
everybody that's here, head on over to that because that's getting
James,
ready
can
to
you
start.
put
So-
can you put Lou's
Shameless plug.
channel in the chat, please?
put that in the
Please put it in the chat if you have before we sign off. Wait,
yeah.
have
If
a second.
James can find it and put it in the chat before we sign off. But yeah, go check out
I'm sure he's
Lou's
hunting.
video that's coming out.
He's
here
been
pretty
posting my
soon,
stuff, too.
So,
Yeah. He's probably hunting at the moment. He'll post it in a
so
Hurry up, James.
yep,
There
we
it
go,
is.
right there. Yep, head to that YouTube channel. It's going to be there.
Yep.
Did you premiere it?
No, I didn't. I'll
Okay.
premiere it right now.
Okay, so
Oh, he's
it's
gonna
getting
do
ready
it.
to pop up. He'll have in the premieres. Everybody likes the premieres because they think that the intros, that like you build the intros, like the 2-minute
Yeah.
countdown or whatever.
They
Everybody
think we
thinks,
make them,
man,
yeah.
these are getting really cool. You're making cool intros. Like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm making fantastic intros now. But yeah, everybody, and you can sit with, if they premiere, you can sit there and there's a live chat like what we've got going on right now. And so you can pop in and you can like chat with people that are getting all excited and whatever about stuff. So
I just set up the premiere.
there you go.
There you go.
So yeah.
I
So-
don't know if it's on my channel because I
Those
usually
that are-
will send a notification within a half hour or something.
Yeah, it'll show up.
For those that are watching
But
now
yeah,
or watch
it's
this
there.
later in a replay, follow. Please go head over and also follow
Yeah.
not only myself and Lou
Yeah.
on YouTube and lots of bowling content on both
Yeah,
sides.
and then for the
Yep.
Bowler's Mart links, follow my link, Lou's link, the link in the description.
Yes,
not
the advertisements.
Yeah, not the mid-video advertisements. That doesn't
Oh,
help.
but
us.
you know what? Also, I found is that if your ad blocker is on, we don't get the credit for it. So, like the best combination that I found has been ad blocker off and Google Chrome. Is like the best combination to make sure it goes through.
I've had a few of those, and it's kind of annoying because the Bowler's Mart thing does use some kind of tracking, so it's got to be able to track that the link that people clicked on was our link to get, so that we get credit for the stuff. But also Cool Wick, Haws 10, HAWS, and the number 10, Motive Lou 10. Is that what it still is? Motive Lou?
Yeah. I want to change it, but
Yeah.
It probably won't change until contract time.
Motive Lou 10 and then Rosedal 10. So those are our 3 codes for Cool Wick.
Head over to Cool Wick and you can have jerseys just like these,
Yeah.
and that.
Uh-huh.
Space
Kitties.
Kitties.
What's that, meow? So, all right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Go watch Lou's.
all right, guys.
Yeah, Trend versus Trend 2 video coming out in 9 minutes now. We'll let you
9
get away.
minutes.
Happy Halloween.
So you can get over that.
Hey.
Yeah, happy Halloween. I need food.
Yes. All right, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right. Till next time.
All right,
Yeah,
bye.
thanks, man.